Yes, sir. Welcome back to another episode of Real Spit with Spitty. Now, today I got a special guest here. You know, I love talking to smart people, man. You know what I mean? That I can bounce ideas from, and in the music industry, you know. I tell people, man, like especially my partners from back home, like they be so wild, that I've worked with these different labels and stuff like that. And I'm like, yo, man, like a lot of these cats is dumb as rocks, bruh. Like, you know what I'm saying? You
It's
know what I
true.
mean? Like folks just then, got in the position for one way or another, or whatever. But nah, man,
Mhm.
it's always dope to, meet like-minded folks and people who are creative and not just on the tip of just trying to push a button and make something happen for somebody, but like really can put together ideas, concepts, campaigns, rollouts, things like that. So
Sure.
I want to introduce to y'all my guest, my partner,
Mhm.
Nick Love, ATL's finest, Nick
ATL.
Love.
What up? What up? What up? How y'all doing? How y'all
Yes,
doing?
sir. Man, I appreciate you coming on the platform, bro.
Man, I appreciate you having me.
Yes, sir.
And you waited for me because I was a little late,
Oh
man.
man, shit,
I
it's
20
all
traffic,
good.
man.
Man,
Never
this traffic crazy. So
no good.
I should have known at the time I asked you to come that we should have just, just gave it a buffer. And it was all good because I was still filming, so it all
Perfect.
just worked out.
Perfect.
But but yeah, man. And for those of y'all that's coming back to the channel, appreciate y'all. If you're not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. I'm dropping every Monday and Wednesday. So just stay tapped in so you know what's dropping. And like, comment, let me know who else you think I should bring here to Real Spit, and send me some feedback, because we stay tapped in. So
Mhm.
but so Nick also, as I introduced this brother, I don't have like a deep intro and bio, you know what I'm saying, and I'm a spit, you know what I'm saying, for my brother, but he's someone who, is embedded in Atlanta culture. Um, One of the few people that I've met that's really from Atlanta
Born and
because
raised.
so many of us like myself are transplants and we come here to Atlanta bringing our ideals and all of that from like the cities that we come from, but this is a brother that's really from the soil, and has worked
Mhm.
with legendary artists like Young Jeezy, um has done brand, been a brand ambassador for several brands, and
Mhm.
what I mean. I also know you from working with Doughboy Raw,
Yes, sir.
aka Young
Rest in
Capone.
peace.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Rest in peace to that brother.
Mhm.
And currently is holding down a marketing position over at oneRPM, one of the premier distribution companies slash labels in the game. So just want to,
Right.
make sure that the folks know, who I'm chopping it up with, and who we done brought to Real Spit, and what I mean, like who's gonna be kicking some game here.
Sir.
Yeah, man. So, bruh, I feel like you know Atlanta, like when the Olympics came here, back in
Mhm.
that was '96, right?
Yeah.
I feel like that was like a really a turning point for the city and sort of put the city in the position of like where we're at now as being like the mecca for entertainment and music, and all of that.
Definitely.
You being from here and being a young teen during that time,
Mhm.
would you say that that's accurate, an accurate assessment?
For sure. The Olympics brought a new energy, a new flavor to the city. It was a time where, especially on the music side, if we're just talking purely from the music, we had been doing music, I would say since the late 80s.
Mm.
92, 93, you start getting Outkast and some of that. By 96, there was this influx of people who showed up.
Yeah.
For better or for worse. Because on the good side, the city was taking off, right? The city's growing, full of black people. We're on black mayor number 3, 4 around that time.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to the illustrious Maynard Jackson, who was probably the greatest mayor that this city's ever seen.
Mm.
By the time 96 rolling around, I feel like we were at Bill Campbell at that point, if
Mm.
I'm not mistaken. And everybody shows up here. Freaknik, the AUC, all of that. But I think it happened so early in terms of Atlanta forming a true identity that you get where we are today. Again, for better or for worse.
Yeah.
Where I don't know if Atlanta truly got to cement what we were or what we are before everybody showed up. And so what we became was this melting pot, which, like I said, for better or for worse, I think you put all these people with their cultures and their backgrounds from New York and LA and Chicago and Detroit and everywhere that they came from, but they walked in and Atlanta still felt like a blank canvas. Nobody was like, oh, this is what Atlanta is.
Yeah.
It's just the natives just kind of got dispersed amongst a lot of different people, man. But yeah, 96 was the year.
Nah, for sure. And I feel like, Atlanta being a melting pot is a part of what makes, the identity of the city to a certain degree. I mean, me being an outsider and saying that respectfully, just from the standpoint of, Atlanta, you hear about like the South having, just being welcoming.
Right.
And,
It is.
and I feel like Atlanta was so welcoming to, people from different cities and other cultures and, things like that. Now, what was it like, growing up in Atlanta for you? You from the East Side, right?
I'm from the East Side. I'm from
Yeah.
Decatur. Growing up in Atlanta, man, to me, this is one of the best cities in the world because, and I know you've heard it before. It's been said on the national stage and international stage. Growing up black in a city that's been predominantly black for a long time, it is one of the most unique experiences that you can have, and you don't realize it until you go somewhere else, right? So you grow up in, not only is your church or your neighborhood or whatever that's black, but your teachers are black. You know what I'm saying? The people at the mall are black. Your doctor is black. Your dentist is black. That's just kind of the norm here, right?
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, like we have also had, there's a lot of white people here who have been ingrained in the city as well. They grew up here. Like I two of my close buddies from when I was young, I just ran into one of them the other day. We have that mixed culture, but it's like when you go somewhere else and you're like, oh, you're not used to having a black person, be a doctor or your dentist or your whatever the case may be. Like that's the norm.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to have that experience growing up because you don't notice that you're the quote unquote the minority.
Right.
I never felt like a minority anywhere in this city. So it gives you a sense of identity. It gives you a sense of pride. It gives you a sense of like belong.
Yeah.
I belong here.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be successful. I'm supposed
Yeah.
to have nice things because my dad knows a guy that works at his job and he got a nice house out in Johns Creek or Alpharetta or Buckhead. Like I know, a black man when I was coming up that had a Mercedes. At that time, like that was a big deal. You know what I'm saying? And like, and everybody wasn't drug dealers. Everybody didn't play for the Hawks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was like, this is what it looks like to kick it this way. So I think I wouldn't have chosen another type of experience or to grow up anywhere else. It makes me very proud to be from here.
Yeah.
Born and raised.
Now that's interesting to me because I grew up in Milwaukee, which is considered to be, probably the number one most segregated city in the US. And so in Milwaukee, I had somewhat of a similar experience, but then polar opposite. And when I say that, I mean, I grew up around all black people. That was, all that I saw, all that I knew, but then what changed was when I went to the bank, when I went to the doctor, those people were white. You know what I mean?
Right.
There weren't any, like black or not any, but there weren't many.
Very few.
Yeah,
Right.
there were very few, black people that were in high up positions. So, the only thing that we saw was, all of us were poor, you know what I mean? Like for real. And
For
it was
sure.
like, if you were black and you had any type of wealth or anything, you was either pimping or you was selling drugs.
Right.
Like you know what I mean? Like you'll see cats in the neighborhood, like pulling up in Cadillacs and stuff like that. And that was like, oh, like, okay, like Buddy getting it.
Yeah,
Okay.
you know what he on.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Or they come in the neighborhood with their furs on and all that, and they counting their money and all that. And, so it was interesting, man, like, because I never saw black people like having wealth and things like that until I came down here. And I even remembered like being in shock. Okay, I remember working at a studio down here, and the person that owned the studio, like they had their financial advisor there in the studio, and it was a
Right.
black woman.
Okay.
And I remember like being in shock, like, and I was like, damn, I was like, am I racist? You know what I mean?
Right. Kinda.
For initially thinking like, wow, like you letting a black woman, handle your money or whatever. And I just remembered that was just something that like stood out to me. And I was like, wow, like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
because it was a culture shock to you.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm 45 years old. I've never seen anything but a black mayor in the city since I was born in 1980.
Yeah.
Since 1980, there has not been anything but black mayors since I've been alive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We seen that. I remember my mom. My mom was a tax assessor for the Fulton County government, and I remember Julian Bond. I'll let people Google who Julian Bond is. Julian Bond came and picked my mother up. He had like the long, like a Lincoln, like a Lincoln Town car back then. He was the first person I seen with a phone in the car. And I used to be like, what the hell? And then when I asked my mama who he was, I'm like, oh. And like I said, it wasn't no illegal, nothing going on. Like, this is a real businessman here in the city. And I'm like, oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
I went to high school. A partner of mine that I actually started doing music with when I was in high school, named Greg Barenko. His dad owns Barenko Automotive, which is the black family that owns Mercedes-Benz of Atlanta, right on Peachtree. I went to high school with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I've seen it since I was young.
Yeah.
Magic City. The owners of Magic City, you know how I met them? Church.
Wow.
I went to church with Lil Magic.
Yeah.
And Juju was young back then, but Lil Magic, Mr. Magic, OG, his wife, we all went to the same church. We came up together. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I've seen a little bit of everything from this city and seeing how people got money.
Yeah.
And even though we didn't have much coming up, it was like I knew it was there. I knew it was possible.
Yeah.
But and then I'm gonna tell you the whack part about growing up in Atlanta though was that people were moving here from other places. So there was a point when Atlanta was still the sleepy southern town, right? We wasn't slow, we wasn't country, but we were not a metropolis. So you got a lot of New Yorkers coming down saying, oh man, Atlanta ain't even got this and it ain't like that. So what it also did was make the people from Atlanta very self-conscious. There was a bit of an inferiority complex. I think, I talk about that to friends of mine. Like, to this day, I still have like a gut reflex of like, fuck New York. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'll never catch me in a Yankee hat.
Yeah.
When I see a Yankee hat, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what do you want? Why are you here?
Yeah.
And it's funny because like, Lala, I went to high school with Lala.
Oh, okay.
Went to high school with Swiss Beats. Like, all these people grew up on the east side. Like, these are all people who were at Reid High School at one point. And I remember Swiss, and there was a kid named Amir. Amir and Swiss used to get in ciphers. They used to be like, whatever the stereotype of a New Yorker was at that time, Timberlands, fatigue jackets and shit. Like, we used to see them. They used to be in the hallways in high school beatboxing and freestyling. And I'm like, get these New York, get out of here. But we used to clash constantly between the Atlanta guys and the New York guys. That was a regular thing in school.
Yeah.
Every big brawl we had, like I said, growing up, we didn't have gangs down here like that. Like, I remember we had gangs one time in 7th grade, but this how trendy Atlanta was. We had gangs when I was in 7th grade.
Yeah.
By 8th grade, we didn't have them no more.
Wow.
Because it was just like, oh, we're just doing the thing this year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody cared like that. The biggest brawls we ever had at school were the Atlanta guys versus the New York guys. Those were the fights.
And New York cats have a good way of letting people know that ain't no place on earth as good as New York. Like,
man,
I swear, bro.
The ambassadors that New York sends abroad, the worst of them.
Yeah.
Y'all send y'all worst down to Atlanta, I swear. Because when I go to New York, the New Yorkers I meet up there, I like them.
Yeah, no,
I like the New Yorkers in New York.
Yeah.
The New Yorkers that came to Atlanta, hey, y'all sent the wrong ones out here.
Nah, because you know what it is, bro, is that when you take a New Yorker out of New York, they complain about everything.
Everything.
You know what I'm saying?
Everything.
So, what, y'all don't have a deli? Y'all have a place where you could just get some sandwiches? But y'all don't have a train? Y'all got a train, but
the
y'all
train don't go
Yeah, like it's
like the train was doing me just fine until y'all came down here and pointed out that the train don't go to every single, you know what I'm saying, thing. I'm like, all right, man, go on with that.
Word. Nah.
Yeah.
Damn, so that's ill. So you say you went to high school with Swizz and
Yeah, Swissner was a couple of years older than me. You know, Hannah Kang.
Yeah.
Like I went to Reid in 9th and 10th grade, and then I went to Stevenson 11th and 12th grade. But in my time on the east side, like so many people, when y'all hear about like Decatur on records, you know what I'm saying? Like when Andre said I caught the 86 Lithonia headed to Decatur, like that's what he's talking about. Not Zone 6. Because Zone 6 is East Atlanta, and I always like to clarify, like, no, I'm not from Zone 6. Zone 6 is East Atlanta.
Yeah.
I'm from Decatur.
Does Decatur even have a zone?
Like, no, because Decatur is not considered Atlanta proper.
Got you.
Right? So we just the east side.
Yeah.
So east side is like Stone Mountain, Lithonia, Decatur. It's starting to extend now. I don't recognize these new extensions. I don't recognize you live in Conyers and Covington, you're doing something else.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but that Stone Mountain, Lithonia, Decatur, like so many artists, DJs, people that everybody loves and is familiar with us from that area. Future, B.O.B., Dope Boy Ra, you know what I'm saying? Tracy T, all of these Gucci went to school at McNair. That is a Decatur school.
Oh, okay.
You know, DJ Scream, DJ Holiday, like all of us, Lloyd, Trillville, like everybody kind of grew up in the same side of town, and we all came up together. So when we got into the music business, it was kind of like, oh, that's my buddy from school.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my partner from church.
Yeah.
Oh, we went to summer camp together. Oh, I know him from, you know what I'm saying? So it just worked out that way. Because at the beginning, when music first kicked off in Atlanta, there was nothing on the east side. Like, only thing we really had was King Edward J. He used to make these bass mixtapes.
Okay.
But that was it. Like, I remember trying to get in the music business, and there was no homeboy or no cousin that was like, oh, we could just hit up so-and-so and get in the studio. Like, everybody that was on from Atlanta was from the SWATs.
Right.
It was all JD and Dallas Austin and that side of town. It was nothing on the east side. Kizzy Rock was the biggest thing we had. Kizzy Rock, for sure.
No, that's interesting. And it's interesting that you said, you know, everything was like on the SWATs, because I know a lot of, well, like you let Parlay tell it, or, you know, anybody.
The West Siders are the New Yorkers of Atlanta.
Yo.
Everything in Atlanta evolved from the West Side.
Yes,
let
sir.
Parlay and them tell it. You know what I'm saying? Like, Parlay, my man. I love Parlay.
Yeah.
Nisha too. Them is my folks. But Parlay is real West Side.
Absolutely.
Ray Daniels is real South Side.
Yeah.
I'm real East Side. Like, it is very, and when we talk, we have those like internal little civil wars of like, what each side is responsible for, who got the best. Like right now, I pop my shit. I'm like, the East Side keeping Atlanta alive.
Yeah.
I'm like, if it wasn't for Future, if it wasn't for, you know what I'm saying, Gucci and Future and 21 Savage, if it wasn't for, you know, Dope Boy Ra, if it wasn't for
Young Nudie,
people like me, Nudie, Hannah, like the executives.
Yeah.
Like the executives, the behind the scene people, the managers, if it wasn't for Meezy, all these people is East Side people. So I'm like, if it wasn't for us, we'd be talking about Atlanta in the past tense. You know what I'm saying? But Ray like to be like, yeah, but Devon Stevens and JD, I'm like, yeah, that was old.
That was yesteryear.
Back in the day. You know what I'm saying? I remember, the olden days.
Yeah.
That's what I tell. I'm like, yeah,
they were part of the golden era.
The golden era. That's let them tell you. You know, and Parlay, you know, he gonna tell you the best things in life come from the West Side.
Oh yeah,
so.
nah, for sure. He talk about Bankhead so much.
Love it. He love it like I love the East Side. So shouts out to him.
Nah, for sure. And that's another dope thing about Atlanta, is that like there's so much pride for, you know, where you from and you know, all of that. Now, can you tell like a East Side cat from somebody that's from the South Side? Like, is it that distinct?
Yeah,
is there different slangs and stuff like that?
To Atlantans it is. Okay. Like you can kind of hear a person talk, how they dress, what they drive, and be like, you from over there, ain't you? Like each side I think has a certain caricature to a certain degree. East Side was always low key. Like, you know, we were always low key. We don't bother you unless you bother us. Yeah. East Side is not aggressive. Now the new crop of East Side, very aggressive and very grimy. But, you know, classic East Side, kind of like, you leave me alone, I leave you alone. We all, you know, kumbaya with it. West Side was always the aggressive side. Like, West Side was always the we the real Atlanta side. And you can hear it in the lingo. When you hear Tip talk, that's West Side. When you hear Parlay, you hear West Side.
Yeah.
When you see like the South Side get a bad rap. We look at South Side like the slow country people who just like and not even a country, but it's just like y'all feel like a little bit behind the times, but y'all from Atlanta, so you know what I'm saying, we respect it. So when you see 2 Chainz, when you see Gunna, when you see the fashion sense of South Ray Daniels, like I said, when you see the fashion sense of South Side, you like, you from the South Side.
Right.
West Side gonna give you white tees and J's. East Side gonna give you polos and like polo shirts and East Side's way more buttoned up, way more clean. South Side, you be like, where y'all from? Y'all from here? I guess. You know what I'm saying? But you can hear it in the lingo and how they how they rap, but it's distinctive to us. We can definitely tell them apart.
Word.
For sure.
And you mentioned a little bit earlier, you said that you went to church with Magic, the owner of Magic City, and his son. What were the whispers like in church? You know what I'm saying? like, was it like, yo, that's the dude that owned the strip club, or was it acceptable?
Well, I'm gonna tell you what's funny about that is that it was very hush. It was very low key. The people who did know about it didn't really discuss it.
Got you.
It didn't really become a thing amongst church until Magic got locked up. When Magic had to go do that Fed time, that's when everybody's like, hey, so Mr. Barney, because I remember being like 16, 17. Lil Magic invited it was a girl we used to hang with called Nikki Red. Nikki Red was essentially Ice Spice back then. That same complexion, hair color that Ice Spice got. Yeah. Nikki like Orphan Annie. She had she's really, really light skin, almost yellow. Yeah. Had freckles, little short hair, but Michael Barney and her was super, super cool. And so he invites her he's like, yo, pull up to the club. Me and my man Chris was with her. So we just like, we just gonna ride up and go to, because he wasn't Lil Magic, he's Michael Barney. Yeah. So we're like, we finna go to Mikey's, wherever Mikey work at. Cool. We pull up. We still ain't really peep what it is. Yeah. Because we pull up in the back, we go through the office, go downstairs, and we sitting there talking to him. And then girls start walking into the office naked, and we like, wait, where are we? You know what I'm saying? Like, it still ain't clicking. Yeah. And then it kept happening, and I'm like, so at some point we go up the steps, and I'm like, oh shit, we in Magic City. This is my first time in Magic City, was coming through the back. Word. Not really even understanding where I was. And so it's like, oh, gotcha. And I could tell that he thought we knew. He was like, oh, y'all didn't know that's where y'all. I'm like, no, we just in the car. We thought we was coming to your daddy's office. We, you know what I'm saying? But once we knew, we knew. Yeah. and now it's up because I'm like, oh, my man, his pop's on Magic City. Right. Like, now it's a thing. And I remember telling my mom was like, yeah, like, we knew. We weren't gonna tell you, but yeah, we know what's up. So, but that's Atlanta life, man. You met people who owned random stuff like a strip club, like some random bar, or something that was moving, and you like, oh, that's just Mr. Johnson. That's just Mr. Stewart. That's just Mr. Whoever, and it was normal life. Yeah,
was Magic City in the same location all the time that it is now?
Yeah. Magic City been there. Since I can remember, since I was in my late teens, Magic City has always been in that same location. Right. Magic City has been a pillar in the city, and it continues to be. To me, it's the biggest brand in the city. As a marketing guy, I'm like, there is Coca-Cola, and it's Magic City. Yeah, Magic City get more traffic than the Martin Luther King house. Man, for real. Like, and when I tell people that, everybody's like, oh, I'm like, but I'm just telling y'all what it is. Like, there's no need to clutch your pearls. Yeah. Magic City is a thing. Do you have a Magic City hoodie?
I used to, yes.
Okay. Yeah. I tell people, if you ever worn a Magic City hoodie to the airport, it's the greatest conversation piece ever. Because everybody knows what it is.
Worldwide. No,
black, white, young, old. If you walk around the airport with a Magic City hoodie on, some old white guy be like, hey, I see you.
I remember a couple years ago, I went to South Korea, and I had a layover in Dubai, I think it was. And I had on that hoodie, and somebody in the airport was like, oh, you know about Magic City? You from Atlanta? And I was like, shit, I live in Atlanta. Hey, you know what I mean? Like
that Magic City hoodie and that brand of, that club is how Jay-Z said, I made the Yankees hat more funky than more famous than a Yankee can. That Magic City is essentially a Braves hat. Yeah. It's essentially like a sign of I'm from Atlanta or I live in Atlanta. It says something to the world about who you are, where you from, what you're about, because there's a cachet and a coolness about even having that hoodie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's a strip club. At the end of the day, it's a strip club.
Right.
You know?
But the brand is locked in. Like you know what that is. Worldwide. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Yeah. So Nick, when did you know that you wanted to, truly like work in hip hop? Like, did you start out like were you a rapper when you was younger?
Yes.
Did you want to be? Okay.
Yeah. So I started off as the kid that my mom and daddy were like, hey, come downstairs and do the little Michael Jackson dance for the company.
Okay.
So I was the kid who had the glove, I had the Thriller jacket, I had the sunglasses, I had all the stuff, walking around doing all the Michael Jackson moves in the living room.
Yeah.
And I was I remember this. I remember being like 6 years old, first grade. And the teacher going around the room and being like, hey, what do y'all want to be when y'all grow up? And, there was people in there, I want to be a policeman. I want to be a fireman. I want to be whatever. And I'm like, I want to be Michael Jackson. And at that time, that's a ludicrous answer, right? It's a ludicrous answer today, but, it's kind of like when the little girl is like, I want to be a princess. It's like, I want to be Michael Jackson. And then people was like, oh, okay. Like, but that was a thing in the 80s.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I understand why you're saying what you're saying, but I never abandoned that. I sang when I was young. I used to sing at church.
Okay.
I used to sing, at home too. So I used to be playing with my I used to make my G.I. Joes have a band. So I set all the G.I. Joes up on the table and they would be like in concert.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that was my way of playing with the toys. And then when I got to high school, I was singing. So I was the one that would go around to all the classrooms and do the singing Valentine's Day telegrams and shit.
Yeah.
For the girls. I would do that. And I started rapping. Then like when I heard Nate Dogg and CeeLo, I was like, oh shit, you can sing and curse
right.
at the same time.
Right.
Like, I want in.
Yeah.
And so I was really, really happy. Like that was what I thought I was gonna be. I always thought I was gonna be an artist.
Word.
For sure. I mentioned my man Greg Barenko, him, my guy Vinny, my guy City Under Siege, who I know at some point we all went to high school together.
Yeah.
City Under Siege, me, my guy Nasty, who's still one of my close friends. Nasty produced Corporate Thuggin' for Jeezy.
Okay, word.
So we all went to school together. We got a little older, got out of high school, and we was like, oh, we're gonna like start a little label together. Nasty was the producer, everybody else was to rap and sing.
Yeah.
And that was what the plan was. We met a guy by the name of Jason McPhee over at Meta Music Studios, which became damn, I don't know why I'm blanking out on the studio. But anyway, we met him. He was consulting for us. And he was the one telling us like how we were gonna become famous. Like as far as we knew. We paid him like $1,000 at the time. It was like that was $1 million to us, basically.
For sure.
Paid him $1,000 and he gave each one of us a role. He's like, all right, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that. And he got to me and he says, you seem pretty personable. Nick, you know how to talk to people, You're gonna do marketing. And I was like, what is that? He's like, no, you're gonna be the one that goes up to the DJs and tells them to play the song, and you're the one that's gonna like get the flyers made. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'm just doing a job because that's what my man told me to do. And I started doing it, and I liked it, and I never looked back. And so I abandoned being an artist altogether and went full force into marketing.
Word. When he first told you that you were going to be doing marketing, like, were you discouraged because your initial dream was to do music? Or?
No, because he gave everybody in the crew a role. He was like, all right, you're going to be the person that does this. And he was kind of just pointing things out. So he was talking about PR. He's talking about marketing. He was giving us all things to do. So I didn't feel like I was getting played. I felt like, oh, okay, I'm playing the role he gave me. Yeah. You're going to play your role. And then when we're all done, we'll be famous. Like, as far as we knew, we do these things for a couple months and then we'll be the dog pound.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that was kind of the model, right?
Yeah.
Whatever the crew was that was popping at that time, it had to be like either Death Row or Bad Boy or whatever was going on at the time. But it was like, everybody do their thing and it would be good. But nah, man, like, I just kind of naturally fell into it because I like talking to people. Yeah. And once I started meeting DJs, DJ Funky was one of probably the first DJs I ever met. Like, for real, like, really had a DJ that I met that I did not know from scratch and was like, built a relationship with him. And he was the first one to start playing records. Word. And then DJ Funky introduced me to one person and another person and then just kind of spiraled from there. And I'm like, yo, well, you know it. I'm looking around and I'm like, oh, I know like 20, 30 DJs. Yeah. And now other people are hitting me and saying, hey, Nick, I seen you with DJ so-and-so. You think you can get him to play my song? And I'm like, I mean, give me $100. Now I'm making money doing the thing. And I'm like, oh, why would I be an artist? Like, this is crazy. Like, I make money today doing this. being an artist, who knows when that'll kick off? You know what I'm saying? So like it was an easy transition for me.
Yeah. Damn. So entrepreneurship like was almost embedded in your DNA too.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was also the kid that didn't want to work for nobody. And ironically, like as I have a job to this day, it's funny when I got the job at oneRPM, the first thing Orlando, who hired me, he was like, "Yo, man, I wanted to hire you a couple years ago, but I didn't think you'd take a job." He's like, "Nobody thinks you'll take a job because you ain't never took one." I've had 2 real jobs in the music business. I worked for Jeezy for 8 years. Everything else I did on my own, and then now I'm at oneRPM. Everything in the middle was me. I built Coalition DJs. You know what I'm saying? It's so many things that I started. I started my Bite Life, my food show, which you know you're familiar with the food thing. Everything I created from the time I left Jeezy up until 2022 for about 14, 15 years was all me. I remember, bro, I've had 60, 70 jobs, bro, and that I've quit by lunch. Or within a week, you know what I'm saying? My kids love this shit, man. Like I'll be driving down the street, I'm like, "Oh, I used to work there." They be like, "Dad, for real?" I'm like, "Yeah, I worked at that bakery for 6 hours. I worked at UPS for a day. I worked at FedEx for half a day." You know, like I got the job, I quit it. You know what I'm saying? The longest job I probably ever had outside of the music was waiting tables, which I loved. I always said if I all this went away, that's what I would go do. I would go wait tables. Well, I loved it. I love talking to people.
Yeah, true.
I love getting around people. I'm a people pleaser to my detriment sometimes, but I like, you know, what you need. How can I help you? Like, oh, you need some more water? You need some. I don't look at it as like, oh, they trying to play me. You know, I like helping. I like serving. So waiting tables was the greatest thing I probably ever did outside of the music business.
Word. And where did this entrepreneur mindset come from? Like, were your parents entrepreneurs? Did they ever push that issue? Or was there somebody that you saw around you that was a successful entrepreneur?
Nah, man. My mom worked for Fulton County till she retired. She probably did 25, 30 years. My dad had a few jobs. I think the last job he retired from there. But to my knowledge, I think my dad might have worked there maybe 10, 12 years. The last job that he actually had. I don't know, bro. I really don't have an answer for like where that part of me came from. But what I always credit is my parents. Because as I was making those decisions, my parents were never discouraging about it. Like I have so many partners in the music business that like when they said that when they started, and they told their parents, "I'm gonna sing, rap, produce, DJ, whatever it is." Their parents were like, "You going to school? You going da-da-da. You got to get out my house." They got kicked out the house for all kinds of stuff. My parents was like, "We trust you. You'll figure it out." So my parents were very like, "We think we raised you right. That if it gets weird, you'll pivot back to where you need to be." And they just let me kind of rock. So I mean, I just had that like, I feel like it was a safety net, but it was one of those like, I know it's around somewhere, but it's not hovering over me. And I don't know, bro. I don't know if I got it from TV or what, but I just wanted to do something. I wanted to be special. Like I said, that kid that wanted to be Michael Jackson, even when I was no longer trying to be Michael Jackson, I was like, I want to be somebody. You know?
And I guess just from, you know, being here in Atlanta, growing up here and seeing so many people that are entrepreneurs, and whether it's like you said, like people that own studios or you know what I mean, your partner Pops, you know, Lil Magic, you know what I mean, Pops own the club, and you know what I mean, and then even your partner, he's working in the club. I mean,
I knew it was doable.
Right.
I knew it was possible. Nothing entrepreneurship, having your own thing, never seemed like some far-fetched idea. You know what I'm saying? It was like I knew I could own something. And keep in mind, as I'm getting into the music business, the people I'm aspiring to work for are Shaka and Jeff at Disturbing the Peace. They had started DTP, so I'm watching 2 black guys that are, I don't know, 5 to 10 years older than me, have their own thing. You know, we did come up in the era of Death Row and Suge and Bad Boy and Puff, and then as I got older, we started doing the Rockefellers and the Murder Incs, and now we got Dungeon Family, BME, Lil Jon. Like I look at a lot of stuff that Lil Jon them did early on with John, Cersei, Vince, like those both Vinces. You know what I'm saying? Like they were, BME was a thing, Grand Hustle was a thing. See, you know what I'm saying? Like so I came up watching a bunch of people who were not that much older than me get their shit off. And it's weird now because I'm 45, but I think people forget sometimes that I was the kid at one point. I was the youngest in most every room I went into. And when I was moving, like, remember, I got that CTE job. I was running the marketing for Jeezy and CTE. I was 22.
Yeah.
22, 23 years old. Like, and that was weird because when I'm 18, 19, learning about marketing, it's one of those things like one day, maybe when I'm 30, I'll get a job at a record label. And it happened at 22. You know what I'm saying? 22, 23 years old. I resigned from a job I had and was like, all right, guess I'm in the music business now.
Yeah.
And it worked out really, really early for me. So nothing ever felt like I couldn't do it.
Yeah. Nah, see, that it's funny you say that because I remember when I was going to college in Minnesota and I met a guy, my guy Rob Biko Baker, who he was from Milwaukee, but he lived in LA and he wrote for The Source. And so I started interning for him, and then I started traveling to LA pretty regularly, seeing, like what opportunities, lied ahead and all of that. And I remember my moms and my older brother, man, they used to look at me like I was crazy when I told them like I didn't want, I got my degree in economics and marketing.
So you finished?
Yeah,
good,
yeah.
good, okay.
And so I always knew that I wanted to do marketing. And I knew that I wanted to do marketing, and I also knew that I wanted to be a writer. I was on the radio when I was in college, and I always had a love for creative writing. So when I was interning for them for The Source, I was like, man, this is what I'm gonna do. Okay. And man, when I was graduating and I was like, yo, I'm gonna move to LA. And my mom and brother was looking at me crazy, like, what you mean you moving to LA? Like, what you gonna do?
Who does that?
Yeah, I'm like, I'm gonna sleep on the homie couch. Yo, he said he got a couch for me. Like, I can get up every day and shadow him to do interviews and stuff like that, and I'm gonna figure it out. And when I tell you, my moms and my brother, they tried to talk me out of it for months before I graduated. They were trying to talk me out of it, trying to get me to get, a steady job. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And so I moved out there, and then I wrote a cover story for The Source, like my second month being out there.
Damn, that's hard.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I got an internship at Jordan Brand, like my second or third month out there. And then I would say probably like by May, I moved to LA New Year's Day of 2006. And then by May, I was working at Geffen Records.
That's hard.
In a new department that they had just started. Ron Fair left A&M Records and moved over from A&M and was running Geffen and started a new department called New Media.
Man.
And I was his first hire.
That's a hell of a story.
And they were like, I remember my mom's was like, wait, you got a job wait, what? And when I told her my salary, when I told her like, hey, they about to give me my own office and a corporate card and all that, and they was like
blown away.
Yeah,
because when you doing it and when you're doing something that people have never seen, it's like you're telling somebody you finna go just grow a second head.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna ride a unicorn into a spaceship and walk. Like, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, no, for sure. And then too, when you come from a place where like nothing like that is even seen, you know what I mean? Like that just wasn't even realistic to even me, you know what I mean? Like when I was growing up, I had these dreams and I seriously used to say this. I used to be on the block in Milwaukee telling my partners, man, I'm gonna write for The Source. I'm gonna work at Def Jam. Like from looking up to Russell Simmons to, looking up to Dame Dash, you know what I mean? It looks like, what Dame Dash talk about with, not having a boss and being your own boss and work for your last name. That's something that you took heed to and you know what I mean? Fell into.
But I feel like a lot of my life, and it's funny, I'll talk to my girl from time to time. Like, I feel like a lot of my life, there's a bit of destiny to it. My older brother rapped.
Okay.
My older brother, I have a brother that's 10 years older than me.
Okay.
And he rapped at one point. But my older brother came up when like Belle Biv DeVoe was the biggest thing in the world, right? So my older brother had like the airbrushed overalls. He had all the cool stuff. Everything cool I ever wanted to do was modeled after my big brother.
Word.
But I remember when I started getting my thing off, my parents were like, okay, we've seen this before. Eric tried to rap. But Nick's thing seems like it's a little more like coming together a little faster, or it's like really materializing. So mind you, high school, I was voted most talented in like the senior yearbook. So I was homecoming king, it's prom king. Like
okay, word.
there was a certain like people looked at me and was like, he gonna do something.
Yeah.
We don't know what he's gonna be, but there's always been this thing around me of like, Nick is a good dude. He's got his head on straight. He's talented. He's got some level of direction. So I never got pushback from anybody. There was nobody I met that was like, you can't do this.
Yeah.
It's like everybody saw something.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I kind of started pulling stuff off, it was kind of like, yeah, I mean, like, and I hate that. I actually started to tell, there's a story I probably want to write about that, like the burden of like having those high expectations. And I think me and you might have had this conversation, but it's a really weird feeling when you pull off something that's either difficult or damn near impossible.
Yeah.
And people look at you like, I mean, yeah, it's Nick. You know, of course Nick did the thing. Like, that's Nick. It's like, yeah, but if so-and-so had done this, y'all be throwing him a parade. Because y'all don't think he or she can do this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all, the expectations for some people are so low when they do anything. It's like, wow, look at him. But when I do something, it's like,
it's expected.
It's expected. It's like, yo, but that was a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, I need you to cheer.
Yeah.
I need a little bit of a pat on the back. Something.
I could dig that. Because my partner Dante, who I grew up with in my neighborhood a few years ago, he said that to me. He was like, bro, it was no doubt about it, bro, that you was going to be successful. He was like, I knew it. He was like, just the way that you moved around and how like you were just cool with so many different types of people. He was like, and the way that your mom's was with you, he was like, bro, I remember like when you would bring a C home and it would be almost like the end of the world at your house. You know what I mean? Because my moms didn't play. My moms used to say, hey, man, like you could see your way out of my house. You're going to bring some C's in here. Like she didn't play. My moms used to make me write these contracts and she would put them up on the wall. And it would be like, if I got a C, like she would literally write on there, I give my mother, Roxy White, permission to whoop my ass.
Really?
Like, and this was written and put up on my door, and so my partners would come over and would be reading this, laughing at me like, bro, your mama
don't play.
She don't play. So, but it was on that same tip of where, you know, I would be at the block parties, and I started out rapping too. And I'll be at the block parties rapping and all that and telling everybody like, hey man, I'm gonna be signed to Def Jam. I'm a this and that. And people tell me like, yo, like just the drive that you had, like
we knew.
It wasn't no doubt that you wasn't gonna be doing what you love to do.
I don't have no hard luck story. I don't have no, the teacher told me I wasn't gonna be. I don't have that. I don't. Every teacher I had was like, hey, Nick the one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that might, that might have caused some problems later on. Like it might have gave me too much confidence. Like I was like, yo, I know.
Yeah.
I'm like to the point where I think if you asked anybody else, they'd say, man, Nick has done really, really well. If you ask Nick would say, I might have underachieved given, you know, what I think I'm capable of doing. So now it's about just getting every idea I have off. You know, you and I have had conversations where I'm like, yo, I got this idea for this, and I'm thinking about this, and it's this thing I want to do. And, you know, sometimes time, life, kids, whatever, stuff gets in the way. But it's just like, nah, like I feel like I should have 20 more M's. I should have 3 more houses, and not even just counting the stuff, but just the legacy and the name of who I am and what I am should be probably more if I had really, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be that guy.
You know what's interesting too, bro? Like I always say that, you know, like you can't control God's divine timing.
For sure.
And for people who are overachievers, you know, like you always look at yourself like, man, I could be doing better. Man, I could be. But then, like, I was just watching the Dallas Cowboys documentary, which is
that was good.
Yeah. I'm not finished with it yet, but like, it's good. And what tripped me out was that Jerry Jones bought the Cowboys at the age of 46.
Yeah.
And it put things in perspective for me. You know, I just turned 43 last week, so I'm like, huh? You know, because when we growing up, when you younger, you know, 40, you over the hill. You know what I'm saying? Like, we think life is over at 40. Like, man, I ain't gonna be. But then, you know, you turn 40 and, you know what I mean? Like, you know, find that you on like the best stride that you've been on. Getting in the best shape of your life, like feeling a lot better, looking better than you might have even looked, you know what I'm saying, in the younger years and all of that. And just realizing like, man, I'm I'm just getting started.
You're just getting started, and you know, with modern medicine and just life in general, bro. Like, you know, barring some crazy tragic accident, you can live another 43 years.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely.
43 good years, not
Yes.
43 and you like barely making it. Like,
Right.
43 healthy. I just saw Mr. Magic at Magic City on Saturday. Core DJs was in town.
Yeah.
Mr. Magic walking around that club like a.
Come on.
And I
man.
know Mr. Magic got to be 70 something.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
he's strolling through the club, just, hey, you know. I said, hey, Mr. Magic. He shook, hey, Mr. Love.
Yeah.
How you doing? You good? I mean, just kicking it, just like a real OG gentleman
Yeah.
in his 70s. He don't like, he in no danger of slowing down.
Right.
tomorrow.
Yeah. No.
And so I'm like, yeah, like life is long.
Yeah, for sure.
Life should be, could
right,
be.
right,
you
for
know?
sure. Yeah, if you do the proper things
Yeah.
to make sure, you know, that you can still be in good health and, you know, all that, and God willing, you know.
God willing.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Can you talk about the dynamic of growing up with an older brother that you were just mentioning? Because my older brother is actually like 8.5 years older than me. And so I really attribute, you know, a lot, you know, from, you know, like with my brother, like he was the one who was heavy into hip hop. And so the reason why I can, you know, rap like Rakim and KRS-One lyrics, and I know so much about just like older music that some of my peers might not have even have been on and things like that. But can you just speak to the dynamic of having an older brother that was that much older than you, and how that impacted you?
A lot of people don't know, I actually have 3 siblings. I have 1 older brother and 2 younger siblings.
Okay.
You never see us together for the most part because there's such age gaps between us. My older brother is 10 years older than me. Then there's me. Then my 2 younger brothers are 8 and 9 years younger than me.
Okay.
So I kind of grew up almost like an only child.
Okay.
But I have 3 siblings,
Right.
right? You know what I'm saying? So this weird dynamic of, if I get into it at school, I can't be like, I'm gonna call my brother, because my brother's 10 years older than me and the other ones are babies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I gotta figure it out on my own, which allowed me to become like more of a diplomat. I knew which fights to take on. I knew which ones to walk away from, because I'm like, I don't have help here. You know what I'm saying? It's just me. So when I had to learn how to fight, I had to learn how to kind of talk my way into stuff, but also stand up when I had to. But my older brother, like I said, man, so much of me, and I didn't even realize until I got older, because, you know, from the cars that I bought to the clothes I wanted to wear, the sneakers I wanted to have, it came from him. My brother was a true hip hop kid. So mind you, like I said, when I'm 6, he's 16. So he's got all the NWA tapes, the LL Cool J tapes, the Public Enemy tapes. So I can name stuff from when I was 6, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old that people my age were not tapped into, because I used to hear my brother playing the music in his room. And then when he would leave, I would go steal his tapes. I'd make my own copies of it. You know what I'm saying? I was stealing his clothes, wearing them to school, put them back in the closet before he got home. Like, I was so tapped into hip hop, bro. I knew every LL Cool J song, I knew everything. One of the first songs I ever learned by heart was an NWA record. And it had so much cursing in it that for a 10-year-old to be walking around singing these records, but I knew him because of my brother. But it made all the difference in the world, because it just showed me, and it's something I still talk about to this day when it comes to just the hip hop generation as a whole. It showed me what being a teenager / young adult looks like when you're in hip hop, right? So I knew that if I'm 8, I knew at 18 I could look like my brother. You know what I'm saying? And my brother looked cool to me at 18. When I was 18, I saw my brother at 28. You know, as I got older, I watched. I'm like, okay, I know what this might look like with my own little twist and my own swag to it, but it gave you a blueprint. And that's the big thing that I talk about when it comes to me and you and other, when we're showing like this younger generation. Hey, this is what 45 looks like. Y'all may not have seen a cool 45-year-old till you've seen our generation. I think we're the first generation of cool everything. Not that like my older brother and my parents weren't cool. They were cool for their era. We're the first generation of people who listen to the same music as our kids, who dress and shop at the same stores as our kids, wear the same sneakers as our kids, watch the same shows as our kids, for better or for worse. Because I do think there's a pro and a con to that, for sure. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's weird now that me and my daughters listen to the same. We both were at the Travis Scott concert. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to when my parents were coming up, I didn't want to be at the Isley Brothers concert.
You didn't want to be at the Earth, Wind, and Fire.
I didn't care that about Earth, Wind, and Fire when my parents were my age, you know what I'm saying, or whatever they were listening to when they were in their 40s, and I was 17, 18. But me and my kids, we get in the car and it's like, oh, that's the new Kendrick. That's the new Drake. That's the new whatever. It's like we have that bond. So it's I do want to show people how to age gracefully. So it's scary, like you brought up Dame. Watching our OGs look weird now and do stuff, I was like, God, please don't let me be 50, 55, whatever, and doing this thing or getting caught up in some scandal or filing for bankruptcy. You know, whatever it is, you're just like, man, please don't let me be that guy. Yeah. Because these were the guys that we thought were the ultimate version of cool.
Nah, for sure.
And they are, some of them are aging not as coolly as we would like. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, for real. I was just talking about Dame and the situation that he going through right now. I know, like, you know, so many people I feel like are kicking him while he's down.
For sure.
You know, and you know, whether, you know, it's because of how his attitude was when he was on top, you know, or whatever, like that's also an interesting thing too, you know, is that it seems like when you on top, when you winning, it seemed like everybody like you. It seemed like everybody is on your team. Right.
They have to.
But then like when you declining a little bit or when, you know, you're going through some adversity, it gives a lot of people an opportunity to, you know, kind of kick you while you're down. So I just hate seeing him going through what he's going through because he's somebody who I've admired so much for so many years. And I'm Team Dame. So like, I feel like he's gonna have his next run. I feel like it's coming. I do.
Okay.
I'm confident that Dame's gonna have his next run. I think that he is just one of the few people that
in music? Because that's the I used to be Team Dame. It's not that I'm not Team Dame no more, because as an executive and somebody on the back end, what I've fully come to understand is that it is a symbiotic relationship between talent and management, talent and the executives, you know, the support system behind it. One doesn't necessarily work without the other. I do think there's more longevity in what we do. But you can get you can be the smartest person in the world. If your artist is whack, it don't work.
Right.
And you could be a dummy. If you had an incredible talent, some things will just fall in your lap. So I feel like the J Dame relationship, they you know, it worked well together. The problem was Jay was also really smart himself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if they could be like, I can get the talent and less of Dame, I take that. You know what I'm saying? So I do believe in Dame because I believe that Dame is still smart and creative and brave, if nothing else. He takes a lot of chances, a lot of risk. I don't know if his next win, because I'm with you. I do think he'll have a win soon. I don't know if it's in music. I believe it's somewhere.
I don't think it's going to be in music. I think his is going to be in like film,
fashion,
television. Like I think it's going to be in like film content. As we'll call it. You know what I mean?
Content.
Yeah, I think it's going to be in content. That's where I think like his next wave is going to be. But then I think in the Dame fashion, and there's no pun intended with this, but I think that he's going to take what he does great in content, and then he's going to create more verticals. So then I think he'll get back into the fashion world and, you know, how he's like into the art world and stuff like that. So I think he's going to have his day. I think because I feel like also, you know, like no matter what Dame's attitude is, like when you hear about like certain people that owe him money, you know, like the Lee Daniels thing, like where he loaned him money, or you hear about like Kevin Hart, you know, like where he loaned him money early on, things like that. I mean, like no matter what your attitude is like, I mean, why can't people pay you back, or why can't people?
That's what I do love about him. I'm a big proponent of that. Hit people. More people should be hit in the face.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I watch CNN, or, you know, every now and then I flip by Fox, and you see politicians making statements or doing things. You're like, man, that is a person that's either never been hit in the face or always got hit in the face.
Yeah.
Because certain things, I'm like, you learn from fighting that there are repercussions for, you know what I'm saying? Like for certain moves. You know what I'm saying? I'm in favor of bullying in school. Bring back bullying. It builds character.
Yeah,
it teaches
for
you.
Sure.
Bullying teaches you character. It teaches you, hey, you can't do that.
Yeah,
you can't talk crazy to somebody the way that people get on these. I'll post something sometimes on, you know, Facebook. You know me. You follow me.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's jokes. Sometimes I'm serious or whatever. And then every now and then I'll get a random comment that's like, some wild left field shit. And I'm like, yo, like if we was here,
you wouldn't say,
you would never say that to me.
at all.
And I have carried that with me. Like I've always been a fighter. Nah, and that ain't no tough guy, super gangster shit. Because there was never no gangster shit. It was always like, that's always on the table for me. Like we can disagree, we can negotiate, we can do all of that, and I'm fine with taking less, all of that stuff. But when it starts to stray toward disrespectful, I'm like, hey, I can do the other thing too, just so everybody understands that that's where I stand. So I love that Dame is like, hey man, like he don't mind confronting somebody in church,
man,
at a conference. Hey man,
Yo.
Hey, it's like, so you never gonna pay me this much? You just gonna keep ducking me,
right?
Like, I love the fact that he's confrontational in that way. I think that is necessary and is needed. I think that he just rubbed enough people the wrong way, and I think that again, he had a superior talent that people had to respect. Yeah, it's like, yo, if you want to get to this superior talent of his, this is who you got to deal with. Yeah.
No, for sure.
Those are the rules.
I also think that with like with his how am I trying to say this? Like the type of attitude that he moved with and the vibe that he moved with, I think that he also called out a lot of people who weren't doing good for the culture. He was defending people who then when those people got in position to be able to make money without him, then they, pushed away from him. And then he was blackballed in a lot of different circles, but he was defending certain people in some of those situations that don't rock with him anymore. So that's why I think that he's going to eventually have his day, because minus the snapping, you know what I'm saying? Like minus like him just clowning folks and all of that. Like I felt like Dame's intentions were always good. The delivery might not have been, what people could stomach, but I always felt like his intentions and the way that he was moving were always good.
Yeah, well, the precursors. Yeah. The precursors were in the right place. His heart was in the right place. I think to that point, he embarrassed people.
Yes.
Yeah. And one thing I've learned from personal relationships with women, in particular with women will go for a lot of shit. You cannot embarrass them. Women will forgive a lot of stuff. They do not, and most likely will not forgive embarrassment. Yeah. And if you notice from famous celebrities or whatever, they've cheated, they've lost money, they've done a lot of stuff. And the women, their business partners, everybody stuck by them through thick and thin. But the minute that they were embarrassed, they was like, yeah, I can't do this. Yeah. Because now everybody looking at me crazy. It was cool when I was looking at myself crazy. Right. At the house. Right. And it was just me and you knowing how foolish I am. Yeah. Now everybody on social media, everybody on TV know. And Dame how Dame would play was like, I'm a joke. I'm a crack jokes. I'm a insult. I'm gonna do all the things to embarrass you. And that's the thing that people are like, I ain't letting that back in. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Real. Like, I'll let you disagree with me, but if I think you're gonna embarrass me, you can't come in this room.
And it's like, no matter if like the point you making is correct or accurate or whatever, if you embarrassing me while you making your point,
then I don't even hear it no more.
Yeah. That's how DJ Envy was when he was on the Breakfast Club, a few years ago, when he said what I felt like was like a monumental speech that might have woke a lot of people up to just want to pursue entrepreneurship.
For sure.
But nah, man, I think Dame's gone. He's gonna have another day. We don't know when, but I think it's coming.
Shout out to Dame, man.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Dame for real. So now you mentioned DJ Funky earlier, and you were a co-founder of the Coalition DJs.
Yes, sir.
Which still to this day is one of the biggest and most recognized DJ coalitions, DJ collectives in the world. And you having the vision from starting out, being told like, okay, you're going to do marketing and then building these relationships with the DJs. How did you help to come up with that concept to, actually do that?
Yeah. So I'll start you here. At the time when we came up with Coalition DJs, there were already other crews that had been in existence. So if you remember the Jeezy record, Trap or Die, when he says, got some super friends in the Legion of Doom.
Yep.
I'm an affiliate. I know Hitmen.
Yeah.
All that. Those were all DJ crews here in Atlanta. You know, the affiliates was Drama and Cannon and all those guys. Hitman was Casper. Legion of Doom was Ray Hamilton and his whole crew. Super Friends with DJ Mars, DJ Trauma, you know, all of the New York guys that had kind of moved down, you know, and had taken up space here. My man Real, who put me on to the street team work, which I still do. Real ran the Super Friends. Like I said, Ray Hamilton ran Legion of Doom. Casper ran Hitman. Me coming up under them, seeing the blueprint that they had laid, I was like, okay, I dig this. So when I had an opportunity to break Jeezy's records, of course, I met all of those DJs, and I was the one taking the records to the clubs and all of that stuff. Fast forward, I'm running Jagged Edge's studio on the east side, because Jagged Edge, they from the twins are from the east side.
Yeah.
They had a studio off of Covington Highway. I'm over there running their studio, and we had a ton of office space. I don't know why or what the original plan for the studio was, but there was like 8 offices in this building, and then 2 studios, a basketball court. It was like a whole little Jagged Edge compound. The offices were empty. No one worked there for real. One day, Big X comes to me. He's like, "Yo, we need some office space." I'm like, "Office space for what?" And he's like, "Oh no, man, we just want to, have like an office that when people want to have meetings with me and Funky, we can have a place for them to come." I'm like, "All right, bet. Hell, we got empty offices here. Y'all come here and just take up some space."
Yeah.
I think I might have charged them. If I charged them anything, it had to be $100, $200, something wild. So while they're in the office space, we just got to talking. And one of the biggest gripes that every DJ had, not just them two, every DJ in the city had, was that they felt like they were getting shorted. Artists, labels, everybody was coming to these DJ crews. They would hand the money to the manager or the head guy, and some kind of way that money didn't make it down to DJs. Again, wasn't my business. I don't know what it is, but that's what the overall feeling was. It felt like, well, we heard Def Jam gave so-and-so $10,000 for us to play this record. All I got was a t-shirt. All I got was $100. How did I get $100, but we got 10 grand that came in? Yeah. And that was the thing. At that same time, though, I'm still working for Jeezy. So mind you, I'm working for Jeezy. I'm running this studio, and now I got these guys in here, and I'm like, well, look, I can do this for y'all, because the one thing that I don't need from y'all is money. I'm okay. I'm good. Keep in mind, like I'm 27, 28 at this time. I'm getting money every which way I can get it. I didn't need to take nothing or steal nothing or kind of do that. I said, I'll tell y'all what, if we're gonna start a DJ crew, I know how to run a business for sure. I can keep this as transparent as possible. And that was the biggest draw for them. They said, all right, cool, let's go figure out how to start this crew. So it started with me, Big X, and Funky. Okay. Then we went and got DJ X Rated. Okay. Then the last piece was DJ Nando. Rest in peace to him.
Yeah, rest in peace to Nando.
That was the original 4 Coalition DJs and me. So it was us 5 sitting in Jagged Edge studio for months and just figuring out everything. That's how we built New Music Monday. Everything, Rocco was our first person that ever come. Oh, wow. Before we even called it New Music Monday, we were just sitting there having a meeting because I had to pay the guys. We had got a client. I think it might have been, what's my guy? JT the Bigger Figure.
Oh, man, yeah.
JT the Bigger Figure gave us a check. And I remember calling the guys and being like, yo, let's just meet up so I can get y'all the money. And Funky told Rocco to come by. And Rocco came by, played us some music, and I was like, yo, this actually works. If an artist comes by and we're all sitting here, I don't have to now take Rocco's song to Strokers to meet Funky. Then go to Platinum to go get with X. And then go over here to this club. I didn't have to make 4 stops. I can just make 1 stop. Yeah. This is easy. It started as a convenience for me. That's how New Music Monday started. Yeah. This would be more convenient for Nick if he only has to make 1 big stop. Yeah. And Rocco was the first person to come in and play his music, and now 20-something years later, here we are. New Music Monday is at Stank on You. Right. Multiple artists come in, big, major labels, indies, every single Monday to come play their records for the guys. But I mean, it just really was the vision of seeing what I had seen from my guys, knowing what mistakes they made previously, and understanding what my role was. My role was to have some level of integrity, and that was easy. That just came natural to me. So I mean, Coalition DJs, like I said, man, we built it in a way from a business structure, from an organizational structure that has allowed it to still thrive to this day, man. So that's probably one of the things I'm most proud of, man, is that, you build something and he's like, damn, I think still going.
It's still going, and I
Still
mean, and
going.
it's a part of people's marketing rollouts,
Mm-hmm.
their campaigns, and like it's something that artists like you come to Atlanta, you have to put that within your press run or your promo run that
Yeah.
you doing.
You have to. Like, I mean, the importance and the significance of DJs and DJ culture has started to slow down over the years because of streaming. So a lot of artists feel like, why would I go do that? I can just go straight to Spotify, straight to
Right.
Apple Music, whatever the
Right.
case may be. But we do know ain't nothing like having people that you personally know that you can put your eyes on, support your record, champion your record.
Nah,
You know what I'm
for
saying?
sure.
And like every artist still want that.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen the video on TikTok? There's this older guy. I don't know if he's homeless or not, but he's rapping March Madness, and he's like,
Oh yeah.
take a trip about the net. He's rapping it like DMX.
Yeah.
And I was telling people, I said, man, you pray to have a fan take your words that you wrote, messed around in the studio, and feel them
Yeah.
like that. And I compared it, like I said, same thing with DJ culture. It's nothing like making a song in the studio and then you go out, like a DJ just like, I gotta play the song at 1 o'clock in the morning, 1:30 when the club is lit. Like,
Yeah.
I gotta drop Spitty's new record at prime time. I know the club gonna go crazy. Ain't no feeling better than that. I don't care. Yeah, streaming on Spotify is cool to see them numbers and that ticker
Right.
go up and your monthly listeners and all that. That shit cool. But ain't nothing like going to Magic or Strokers or, whatever the hot club is in your city and it's just seeing your record affect people, man. And that's what DJs do.
Nah, for sure. I feel like that's why people can't just forget about the DJ and just go to TikTok and stuff like that. It's like you have to impact the people and then allow the people to then make something go viral or, like make something, get popular. So
For sure.
DJ Nando, man, he was,
Man.
I loved, bro, because he was so opinionated. He never held back, bro. Like,
Yeah.
what are some of your like fond memories of Nando?
Man, Nando, rest in peace, man. Like, I just maybe a couple of years ago got to a point where I could talk about dude without, really like feeling terrible about it because he was taken so suddenly and so abruptly. And there were so many things happening around that time that when I look back at it, I'm like, damn, I wish I had said or did. I had a lot of, not really regrets because it was nothing, I didn't even really know what was happening at the time. But just, you kind of play things back in your head. You're like, damn, like when he said this, maybe I should have, but Nando was why Coalition worked. Nando and Funky, to me, this is taking no credit away from Big X or X-Rated, but they were the polar opposites. Funky in a lot of ways, and I mean this in the best way possible, Funky in a lot of ways was a pushover. Funky was cool with everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody loves Funky.
Yeah.
Everybody shows up to the club, they bring, hey, I'm gonna come have a drink with Funky. Come smoke with Funky. I'm gonna come kick it, bring my music. And Funky gonna play your song, and Funky gonna make you feel like the greatest person in the world. That is his unique talent.
Yeah.
Funky makes you feel like a star when you walk in because Funky, he loves everybody. Everybody loves Funky. Nando will make you feel like shit.
Yeah.
If you don't have either, if he don't know you or if your record ain't it.
Yeah.
Like Nando will play your song and 20 seconds in be like, yeah, that ain't it, man. Here.
Yeah.
And just hand you your CD back or, like he's just like, I ain't doing it. And so everybody knew that about him. So when you had a song he liked, it was like, oh man, I'm gonna be filthy rich because if Nando like it, he's the hardest critic in town. So Nando is why myself, Coalition DJs, was able to make so much money because everybody wanted to get to Nando. And they knew, same thing with the Dame and Jay thing, to get to Nando, you gotta talk to Nick. Because Nando's gonna always say, I mean, yeah, man, you gotta call Nick though.
Yeah.
Funky might do it on his own. Funky would come in there and he'd be like, yo, man, I decided to play this dude's record 10 times last night. And I'm like, Funky, why didn't you send him to me? We could have got some money out of it. He's like, man, but I mean, that's my man. It's like, fuck. Nando is like, I'm not moving a muscle till Nick say everything is a go.
Yeah.
And I remember sitting in the club one time, one of my fondest memories. Everybody knows that Funky was the master talker on the mic when he was in the club, especially at Onyx. And it was some guys sitting next to the stage and they wasn't tipping. And he's like, hey, tip the girls. He's doing the thing, stopping the music. I mean, he got the club lit. These certain guys was not spending no money. He kept calling them out. Hey, you with the red jacket on. Like, he's doing the thing.
Yeah.
So at one point, Nando says, all right, buddy with the baseball jersey. Let me have your attention, bro. He said, I want you to click your heels together 3 times and say, ain't no place like home. Ain't no place like home. And get your ass the fuck up out the club. And he started playing. Man, the whole club lost it. We was like, oh, shit. So, like, I didn't know you could say that to a customer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you forget, like, yo, he's a customer in here. He paid to get in here. And you just, but that was Nando. But he did it in such a comical, lighthearted way, but serious. Because he definitely meant what he said, but it was entertaining. And I just never seen nobody in my personal life that I knew that was so entertaining and funny and genuine and all across the board. The girls loved him. The club loved him. The bouncers loved him. The customers loved him. Even the ones that he would call out, it was like, okay, gotcha. I know next time I go up in there, I'm either going to spend some money or I'm not going to stand by that stage because I don't want him on my head. And Nando just... He was ahead of the curve at everything. He was doing Ustream before anybody was doing live streaming. He was bringing his own speakers to the club. So like Nando's night sounded different than you be at the same club, but Friday night wouldn't sound like Saturday night because Nando would bring in 6 extra big ass speakers. So you like, damn, why was it thumping in here tonight? But last night I was just here. And it sounded like they was playing that shit out of a Walkman. It's because Nando brought in a sound system. And it was just like, I'd never seen somebody so dedicated to their craft at a thing that people just kind of dismissed as, oh, the strip club DJ. They just some strip club DJs. Everybody looked at DJ Mars, DJ Trauma, you know, these guys, and these are guys who are now DJing for Usher and Dave Chappelle. Like, everybody looked at those guys as like, oh, they're the artist. They're like the artistic DJs, or like, these are the guys who, you know, they were from up top. You know, I think Mars is like from Boston. All these guys are from New York and, you know, up top, up north. And so people treated them a certain way, the same they kind of revered them like the Red Alerts and the shit of the world. You know what I'm saying? Like the Envies and the Enoughs. And they treated the Southern Atlanta DJ like, oh, that's just some niggas spinning some records. Nando was like, nah, y'all gonna respect what I do. And so I remember that about him. And I remember other DJs who were more popular than him, DJ Drama, other guys being like, yeah, I mean, you know, I do my thing, but him, he the one.
He was special.
He was the one.
For real. Like, I mean, me and him had a dope, unique relationship because we used to argue a lot about music.
Everybody argued with him.
But he was just so dope. And like I said, like when I say he was so opinionated, it was like he didn't hold nothing back. And like you said, he was ahead of the game, man. What
him and Jeezy used to fall out all the time. Him and Jeezy had the I used to like, man, y'all are like a bitter like ex-wife, ex-husband couple. Like it's so bad. Like Jeezy coming there and it's like, they best friends. And then other days, he'd be like, man, I ain't fucking with that. I'm like, I just saw y'all yesterday. I was around when y'all was on the phone. Y'all was cool. What happened in the last 24 hours that y'all hate each other today? But it was that of Nando telling Jeezy, I don't like that song.
Nando wasn't no pushover at
all.
Nobody.
For nobody.
No, for real. So you worked with Jeezy, you said when you were about 22 years old.
22, from 22 to 31.
Your first marketing, like your first official marketing gig. TM one-on-one time and all of that. Did you see Jeezy transitioning and elevating into the Jeezy that we see today back then?
No. The Jeezy that I knew was very locked into the person that he was at that time, right? I didn't know. I remember there were some deals that Coach K and Yusef, who were his managers at the time, I remember them bringing in deals from like a couple of Nike. There was a Nike situation. I believe there was a Converse situation. I can't remember what liquor we ended up going with. I think we did do the Grey Goose campaign, but I feel like there were other bigger situations that they would bring to him. And I remember Jeezy just a lot of times saying like, that ain't no real shit. Like, it was just a lot of, you know, that was the popular thing around the time of the Chappelle show. So a lot of the keeping it real goes wrong. And I remember watching Jeezy make decisions certain times and being like, he turned that down? What are we doing? Like, if we not, because mind you, at that time, Puff is the model. Jay is the model. And we're watching them do these big brand deals and getting millions of dollars to promote certain things. So I'm like, what are we doing this for if he only cares about doing club shows? You know, which he was making shit ton of money doing those club dates and hostings and parties and performances and whatnot. But some of the things that me as a marketing person at that time was looking at and saying, okay, this is going to take him to the quote unquote next level. I watched Jeezy turn a lot of things down or either turn something down and do nothing, or turn it down and then go take a deal that was like with a lesser brand or a lesser thing. And I'm like, I don't understand this dude. I did learn a lot from him though. I learned a ton from Jeezy about just being confident in who you are. I took that for sure from him. The person that I am today is very okay with my height, weight, my looks, my whatever. I'm like, this is Nick Love at this point.
Yeah.
This is who I am, and I'm cool with it. Because that's how Jeezy kicked it. Jeezy was never like, I'm trying to be the next so-and-so. I'm trying to be little so-and-so. I'm Jeezy.
Yeah.
And for better or for worse, that's how he played it. That's how he carried everything. But yeah, I remember him just being very frustrating at a time for myself as on the marketing side, but for management, everybody frustrated with Jeezy.
Yeah.
But to see where he is now, the orchestra show, flawless. I loved every bit of it. I went to the first one. I didn't go to the most recent one. I went to the first one he did a couple of years ago. Loved every bit of it. The person that he seems to have become. I haven't hung out with Jeezy in maybe in a couple of years. But I mean, we've always maintained a good relationship.
Yeah.
But the person that he seems to have become in the last few years, I think the person that I see on these interviews now, I'm like, this is dope. This is dope to see.
For sure. Like, I mean, from the verses at Magic City with him and Gucci. Were you there? Okay.
No.
And then
I expected that to be a disaster.
Yeah.
I was like, no good can come from this.
For sure.
But it was great.
Yeah, it was really dope to see. And then I was really shocked when I saw the interview with him and Coach K.
That shocked me.
Yeah.
That shocked me. People, first of all, I always try to remind people anytime I do interviews, like, I worked for Jeezy and CTE, like, so I was the VP of marketing for eight, a little less than 9 years. But Kink is the one who hired me.
Okay.
Kink was my guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Of course, I dealt with Jeezy on a day-to-day basis, and me and Jeezy built our own relationship, especially like after the fact. After Kink is gone, Coach is gone, or whatever, I'm still around. You know what I'm saying? I'm going on tour. I did the Church in the Streets album.
Okay.
He's got tours and stuff coming up. He reaches out to me and say, Nick, I need help on the marketing side. Like, I came around a lot when everybody else was gone. So me and Jeezy built our own rapport. But I came in the game as Kink's guy. Jeezy tells a story now. He'll be like, man, I thought you was the feds when you came around. He's like, bro, who would want to be around all us criminals but didn't grow up with us and wasn't? I was like, man, I wanted a job. I was going to be in the music business, bro. I wasn't thinking about y'all. Like, I just wanted to come in and do what I do because I knew I was good at what I did.
Yeah.
But Jeezy himself was like, man, he was a piece of work, bro. But to this day, I'm such a fan of the music.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a Jeezy fan.
Yeah.
Like, that's one thing no matter what me and him go through, no matter what, our personalities would clash, because in a lot of ways, me and Nando were very similar. I'm like, I would push back on a lot of things Jeezy would do. I'm like, why are we doing that? And I think, there was times, especially because, mind you, we young. I'm 22, 23, 24, 25 years old.
Yeah.
Jeezy and them is 28, 29, 30. They're a couple years older than me. So we're pushing back like 20-year-olds. We're having the clashes of 20-year-olds and somebody saying, no, I don't think we should do that. I think that's a whack idea. I don't like that song. I think that we should do something else. And so I'm doing that. And he's like, nigga, you work for me. How you going? But I'm like,
hey, I got an opinion.
Yeah, that's how I felt. But he was like, I ain't really feeling Nick with all these opinions. You know what I'm saying? So I remember clashing so much when I was young. Like, my 20s were tumultuous dealing with him. And like I said, now I can look back at it and laugh. We see each other when we're out. Hey, man. Like, and now it's jokes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's all fun and games, or we can tell old stories or whatever the case may be. But back then, it was like, hey, man, is this worth it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm
for
saying?
sure.
But no, I'm such a fan of the music, bro. Like, you can never tell me nothing too bad about Dog.
Yeah. I had the opportunity to work with Jeezy. When I went to Def Jam, I worked the TM103 album. And then when I got laid off from Def Jam, Erica Bowen, she connected, man. Shout out to Ebo. Like, straight up. Like,
love
one
her
of
to
the dopest, one of the greatest.
That's a good person.
Yeah, she's such a good person, for real. She brought me into 8732 to do the marketing. And I remember, like, I used to be so frustrated because Jeezy wouldn't wear the clothing line. And I'm like,
that's
bruh,
Jeezy.
How are we marketing your clothing line that you won't wear, bro? You know
that is
saying?
Jeezy, man.
He was so stubborn, but hey, I mean, but we all just got these you know what I mean, interesting stories, these funny stories about it that we can laugh at, you know.
Laugh at now. Because at the time when he was doing that, I know you was like,
bruh, it was used
what
to
are we
be.
doing?
He used to be so frustrated. I'm like, bruh, like, don't you know that people would wear your shit if you was
wore it?
wearing it?
Yeah, Jeezy would do stuff, man, and it was always funny because every now and then Jeezy's a Libra, right? So I tell people one thing I've learned about Libras, because I'm not the zodiac guy. I don't really get into, he's a so-and-so, so that's why I don't do that. But one thing I've learned about him and other people around that Tip, Wayne, all of them, they got them birthdays around the same. They don't apologize. They just be like, oh, man, you know what would have been crazy? We should have done da-da-da-da-da. You said that, didn't you? Yeah, that's wild. And then he'll keep it pushing. And Jeezy did that a lot.
Yeah.
He would come back and be like, you know what we should have done? That thing you had said a month ago. Man, that's crazy. And then he just go keep it pushing. He be like, and I'm like, I guess that was your way of saying I'm sorry. I guess that was, man. But he Jeezy.
Man,
for sure.
Can you talk to me about that marketing campaign that you did for the USDA album?
I just wrote about that on LinkedIn, man. I got fired for that. I got fired from Jeezy. Jeezy fired me maybe 3 times from CTE. The longest I ever was away was like a month. Every other time was like fired for a couple of days, bring you back. Because again, we're 20-year-olds. Yeah. Everybody's like, fuck you, get out of my office. And then a couple of days later, Twin or somebody would call him like, hey man, I said, come back up here. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That was Coach K, Twin, King. Somebody called him like, yo man, come back up here. He was tripping that day. Yeah. But the USDA campaign, man, the plan was to have a group of white girls, because the single for the USDA album was The White Girl. Yeah. The Keep That White Girl. Yeah. Christina Aguilera. The plan was to get these white girls, what we're going to do is put them in like black hoodies, black bandanas, have them walk around with like these USDA posters and the whole, and that's how we was going to promote, because obviously I can't walk around distributing little sample packs of cocaine, even pretend, you know what I'm saying? Like, so here'll be a little tongue-in-cheek way of getting the messaging across, because keep in mind, at this time, this is MySpace days. There's no Instagram, there's no TikTok, because I would have done it completely different in this era, because it would have been so much easier to make that work in a digital era. But at that time, all we had was really MySpace. So it was kind of like we had to be boots on the ground type of vibe. And Slick Puller, my man Slick Puller, we get him to do a video.
For real?
Yeah, for real. We get him to do a video where he was like, yo, and it's so funny looking back, because I mean, I can see the ridiculousness in it, right? Because the idea to this day, I still hold that it was a clever idea. Slick gets on the video and he says, yo, we're looking for like, you know, a couple white girls to come out. And we're looking like, we're going to get this all white girl street team. He does that. So L.A. Reid hears about the idea. He calls Jeezy. He's like, yo, what the fuck is this? Like, what are y'all thinking? Like, this is going to come off as racist and da-da-da-da-da. Now, mind you, everybody's in on this meeting. This is not a meeting that Nick had this bright idea and we all walked off. This is a committee meeting. This is everybody's on board. Everybody's like, yeah, this works. That's why Slick does the video. That's why Blood Raw is on board. Jeezy's on board. Everybody's on board with this idea. But when LA says what he says, hey man, somebody got to get in trouble, right? Somebody got to get he did it. Right. And so that's what ends up happening, man. And I remember that being super terrifying for me. I mean, I was in the music business, but I hadn't been in there that long. This is the biggest job I've had at this point. And now L.A. Reid, of all people, one of the biggest people in the music business, has heard my name and attached it to this terrible idea. Which, like I said, I contend now that I don't think the idea was bad. I think the execution of the idea was bad. So it taught me a lot of lessons in the way of rolling out ideas, announcing ideas. I learned a lot of lessons from that. But that idea of having these white girls promote this record, which ultimately it wasn't that the idea was racist, but let's be real about the society we live in. It's cool when the white kids is listening to the music and doing all of that, but having them truly, truly attached to the marketing and promo of it and using them as essentially props, more or less, you know what I'm saying, and what we was doing, that was the error, and that was where the pushback came from. And allowing people to like hear about the idea before they saw it. I think if we show up in LA, New York, Chicago, wherever we go, Miami, or some award show, and we got 20 white girls on stage, like mobbed up. Like we ain't talking about white girls with bikinis or nothing crazy. We
Right.
talking about having them mobbed up, bandanas, the hoodies, the whole shit. All you can see is like this part of them,
Yeah.
and they just promoting. Everybody's like, oh, it's kind of hard.
Right.
When you float the idea and you see it in writing,
Yeah.
it's like,
like, nah,
I
that
don't
ain't.
know. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, man, but like it's ideas like that and situations like that that make me reflect back on how I got here. Now I always reference that time period of like I tried a thing or I did a thing. Like Jeezy let me kind of rock. And again, it's kind of like how I mentioned my parents earlier. My parents let me just rock, and they would be like, hey, if I need to kind of jump in, Jeezy let me rock. We got so many great ideas off from the Snowman, the Street Team. So many cool things came out of the Jeezy campaigns. But every now and then there might have been one that, you know, got away.
Yeah.
But it taught me valuable lessons. But it also gave me the confidence that when I'm sitting in the room, I don't mind throwing some ideas out. I'm like, oh, you don't like that one? Shit, I got 20 more of these.
Yeah.
What we gonna do?
Yeah.
You know? So but yeah, man, it was crazy times.
Yeah, word. Nah, for sure. And Doughboy Ra, man. Long live Ra.
Another one of my brothers that is gone.
Yo,
The
man.
most talented artist, probably the biggest star potential as a star that I've ever had. I've worked with a lot of really, really dope artists.
Yeah.
And you know what? I want to shout out a couple of them. One is Asia Bryant, who goes by Asian. Asian, I managed her for maybe about 2 years. And I think to this day, and I don't know if she knows this, and I still keep up with her because we haven't talked in years. When we had a big falling out. Actually, we ran into each other at the Atlanta Dream game, not maybe like a year or two ago. But to this day, I think she's one of the most incredible singers and songwriters that are in this business. Ra, Dope Boy Ra, Young Capone, however people know him. Ra, as a rapper, could out-rap 90% of the rappers. As a producer, could outproduce 90% of the producers.
Yes.
As a walking fashion guy, he probably fresher than 90% of the game. Like he had the fashion sense of Dipset, the production of maybe like a Big Crit or somebody, the rapping of a Tip.
Yeah.
Like he had everything. And the thing that was the most frustrating, two things really frustrated me. One, he would get in his own way a lot of times because he just kind of a self-sabotager. You know, you look back at somebody's life and you like, damn, every time it was going good, he would do something to kind of shake shit up.
Yeah.
And I thought for a little while, I was like, man, maybe it was just me. You know what I'm saying? I was managing him. Maybe I didn't know what I was doing. I was young. I'm trying to make him do the same shit that I would have made Jeezy do, and they not the same. You know, like you question yourself at certain moves, but then when you see him do it with other people, you're like, ha, gotcha. It's you.
Yeah.
So it's you. But the thing that frustrates me the most, man, in 2025, the albums that have come out this year, Freddie Gibbs, JID, Clips, for years, bro, and this shit damn might make me cry. All Ra really wanted to do was just rap.
Yep.
He was like, if you ever heard of Ra before he got into his Dope Sell Itself series, if you ever heard High End, Low Life, Higher, those projects that came out before, you knew Ra was an introspective, like thoughtful rapper who could rap. He like rap. We used to put him in the same category with Sci-Hi and all those other guys. That was the circle. We went on tour. It was Scotty ATL, Sci-Hi, Ra, Peel. And there was another kid. I can't think of his name. He used to be with Killer Mike. I can't remember the dude's name. But it was them five. I remember we would all run around together. That was like kind of the circle.
Not SL Jones.
It wasn't SL Jones. Well, yeah, it was SL. It was SL Jones.
Yeah.
SL Jones, Scotty ATL, Ra, and Sci-Hi, man. That was kind of the circle of artists that was together. And I remember Ra just being like, man, I really just want to rap.
Yeah.
The Dope Boy Ra thing, I mean, Shawty was definitely in the streets.
Right.
That was a well-known thing, but he didn't want to lean into super dope boy, but he's like, man, this is what everybody want to hear, so I'm gonna give it to him because I know I can give it to him because that's my real life.
Ra was like your favorite rapper. Like even at that time, like even though he hadn't reached the heights that we both know that he could have and should have reached, like he was for real like your favorite rapper.
The other rappers in town that knew about him was like, hey man, he got it. We don't know what the point is that was gonna get him. And then when he signed with Tip, everybody's like, oh, this is it. This is who's gonna figure it out. If anybody can get him together, it's Tip.
Yeah.
And you know, if you've heard the records that him and Tip did together, If you heard some of the Hustle Gang albums, you knew what that was. If you heard any of the Dope Sell Itself series, you knew what it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I think this, if he could have made it to 2025, he would have thrived because he's like, oh, this is all I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Like, y'all cool with listening to dope boy tales that can really, on somebody who can really rap? Rod would have loved a Freddie Gibbs.
Oh,
like, you know what I'm saying? Freddie Gibbs and Rod would have made incredible music.
Yeah.
JID is damn near family. Our homeboy Carl, JID is Carl's little brother. So we've known about JID for a while.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we've known about Shawty for a minute. Everybody from the same side of town.
Yeah.
So he's basically, Rod and JID would have done some incredible music together. You know what I'm saying? So I got records, unreleased records on my hard drive of like Rod, Bankroll Fresh, and Tracy T. Yeah. Rod and Fresh together. Like all of these, again, this is a circle of rappers that all hung out together. Yeah. So Fresh is gone. Man, Rod's gone. Like, you know, Bankroll Fresh was another star in this city. Yeah. So Atlanta has lost so many amazing talents, from Takeoff to, you know, Unk is gone to, I mean, we've lost. Man, I mean, Dolph. I mean, I know Dolph is from Memphis, but like we still like Dolph has so much love in Atlanta. I just have to mention his name in that also as just someone that, you know what I mean, that we lost, and that Scooter. All these Atlanta has lost Trouble. Yeah. I remember putting Rod and Trouble in the studio together because I was working with Trouble, and there was like it was really some animosity between Rod and Alley Boy, but Trouble is Alley Boy's guy. So it was like this thing between Trouble and Rod. I'm like, y'all the same nigga. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Really, y'all the same guy. Yeah. But I remember sitting in rooms with Trouble, sitting from Rod, and I'm like, I'm listening to an identical conversation. Yeah. Both of them so talented, good-looking guys. Girls loved them. Niggas was into them. They had it, you know, and so it's just really tragic to not see them around for like what hip-hop is doing right now, especially here in Atlanta, especially with all the Atlanta shit going on right now. It's like, this is the perfect time for artists like them to have been here to like. Yeah, nah, for sure, man. We got this.
When I moved from New York to Atlanta and lived at Corey Mo House, I remember Ra
on the east side.
Yeah, over there off Candler. Yep. And I remember Ra had came and lived over there for a while.
Sony Valley. Yep.
And I mean the stuff that I heard from him on the production tip, but then like him rapping, I mean he was incredible. He was like for real, like one of the dopest. Like,
yeah, I think and Rod's gonna end up going down. Like, you know how New Yorkers talk about Big L?
Yes, yeah.
How they be like, man, Big L had this, and before Jay was even da-da-da. That's Rod.
Yeah, nah, for sure. Because the Young Capone version of Rod was legendary. You know what I mean?
He's had like 3 eras of himself. Yeah. And they were all like super fucking dope.
Nah,
so
for
man,
real.
like I really want to get some of his catalog and move it to oneRPM because there's so many cool things I want to do. Yeah. It's figuring out his estate, you know, with the kids and everything. But like there's music out there. Like you said, there's music sitting at Corey Mo's house. There's music, I think, sitting at Zaytoven's house. There's music sitting around in these different places. Yeah. And if I could just kind of compile it all, that would be my dream passion project. To kind of just put out just one project. Make it. I wanted it to be a Gangsta Grills. You know, that was something he always wanted. He always wanted a Gangsta Grills. Yeah. So that'd have been real ill. Like I reached out to Lake one time about doing it. Lake and them was open to it, but again, it became a situation of like compiling everything and figuring out who got what, because you know, Rob pulls some shit off YouTube, and I'm like, man, I want to get sued and fucking with some YouTube beats.
Right.
But Rob, but you never knew because some of the stuff he would pull would be stuff that he would produce. Yeah. So it's like, man, I don't know what you did and what the YouTube, who knows? Right. But dude was ill.
Yeah, nah, definitely a dope talent. Speaking of, you know, so many of these artists, DJs and just different people that we've lost, you know, over the years, instrumental people to the culture. How have you worked on, you know, healing and even just deal with, you know, us losing so many people that have been close to us, you know, working, you know, in this culture?
Man, I'm gonna tell you something crazy. Damn, I felt a tear coming, but I'm gonna push it back. DJ Scream just recently had an interview. I forgot who it was. I think he was with Lala and them over at Progress Report. But Scream has an interview where he says he was talking to his therapist, and Scream said the therapist told him, hey, you know it's not normal for somebody to lose so many coworkers. And when it was weird that she called them coworkers. Yeah. He was like, yeah, because he was like, yeah, you know, this person died and that person died, and Shawty Low died, and this person passed, and this and third, he got shot, he got killed, he overdosed. And she was like, yeah, it's like, you know, most people don't have jobs where their coworkers die so often. Right. And I was like, oh shit. these are our coworkers. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, these are our
Yeah.
peers that we see and we kind of work with day to day. That was a really ill thing to kind of process. Um, and I went through years, and my ex-wife will tell you, there were years where I don't think I felt anything. You know, you just kind of become numb, but like legitimately numb. And my ex-wife would describe times where she would say, you know, Nick, we would do some stuff that was like really, really cool, something fun, something exciting, and you would just be like, oh, this is cool. She's like, that's how you would respond. You wouldn't say, oh my God, I'm having a good time. You would say, that's fun. I would say the words, but not like I wouldn't laugh. I would say, that's funny. But I wouldn't be like,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's funny. And just kind of smile. She's like, something was wrong. Something was off. Like I watched you kind of just not be there. So one of the illest things about being alive, getting older in the last, especially in the last few years, definitely since the pandemic, is like getting back to feeling things. Like I actually laugh hard. I cry at, you know, I watch movies at the house and I'm like, nigga, I was in the car today and Luther Vandross' Dance with My Father came on. My father's alive.
Yeah.
I was listening to that song like, yo, this is a sad ass song.
Yeah.
Like I was like, kind of, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just certain things. I watch movies. I just watched the movie The Green Book for the first time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was emotional about that movie. I'm like, yo, like, but I do that a lot now.
Yeah.
I notice I feel a lot of things. So for me, I don't know if I've necessarily done anything, but I do know that the feelings, the emotions, that's come back. And so I can look at it now and say, man, look at me. I'll cry about certain things or I'll laugh about certain things because I remember there was a period of maybe 6-7 years of like very, you know.
Yeah, like kind of being in an emotionless state.
Yeah, just emotionless, like damn near a robot. Just like, you know, you wake up, do what you got to do, go sleep.
Because it's almost become normal that we lose these people, you know. And yeah, it's definitely interesting. Like I've had a therapist for a couple of years and have, you know, have unpacked a lot of these losses, you know, and I lost a literal coworker in Pooh. You know,
Oh, wow, yeah.
one of our DGB
I remember
members who was so instrumental in DGB, you know, rising like and going to the next heights. But Pooh's, who's from Dallas, you know, he got killed out in the Bay, and that was a scenario where it was like, damn, like okay, not only have I lost, you know, some clients and some artists that I've worked with, but a literal coworker who I used to talk to every single day. You know what I mean? And it's like
it do something to you.
Yeah.
It do something to you even if you don't notice. Like the funny thing is for me is that all the therapists I've been to have been relationship therapists. It's always been me in a relationship with a woman and us, whether it's my ex-wife, whether, you know what I'm saying, or it's a young lady I dated for a little while back, like pre-pandemic, you know, my current situation. Like I've gone to therapy about those things. But a lot of what I found out was a lot of what I was doing in those relationships came from the other stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
it was like taking work home because like I always tell people like, I'm the guy when people tell me they want to be in the music business, I'm like, I want to do Scared Straight. I'm like, you sure you want to do this? Like, are you sure you want to do this? Like, I know it looks cool. The same thing I say about people when they want to say they either want to start a business and be an entrepreneur. I'm like, you sure? And even people with parents, people that want to have kids. I say, yeah, it's cute when you see me and my daughter on Instagram, we matching clothes and we got matching shirts and sneakers, and that's cool. She cute then. You don't see her when she's at home and she doesn't want to do her homework. And you don't see her when she doesn't want to clean her room. You don't see her when she's doing what a 4, 5, 6, 7-year-old does. You only see the cute Instagram photo. Same thing with relationships. You see the Mexico vacation when we go to Tulum or Cancun or Miami or wherever the case may be. You don't see when me and her is at the house and we hate each other. You don't see it when me and my oldest daughter are not talking to each other because my oldest daughter feels a way about me and her mother splitting. You know what I'm saying? Like those are the things that money don't fix. Those are the things that tickets to a concert don't fix. You know what I'm saying? Like those are the pieces that have taught me more than anything. So when it comes to dealing with this business, the deaths, life, work, the whole nine, a lot of it is processing how I behave towards the people that I care about. That's where I've learned the most about myself and everything else.
What would you say are things that maybe fulfill you now, whether it's in work or in life, just in general, that are different than what fulfilled you earlier in your career?
Man, my kids. I remember earlier in my career, and I had kids. I had my first daughter when I was 20, 21, 22.
Okay.
Kaya's now 22. She'll be 23 later this month.
Okay.
When I first got in the music business, and I had these kids early. Now, mind you, I'm one of the only ones with kids that was around, or like that really took care of my kids. I'll say that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when it's time to go on tour, I'm like, hey, gotta go. I mean, this is work.
Yeah.
And I made that decision a lot. You know what I'm saying? I look back at those things and I'm like, damn, man, like I missed some key moments with family. I remember a lot of time. I remember years ago, my mom told me, oh, such and such was going on with us at the house, or there was a family function that we did, but we didn't want to call you. We didn't want to bother you. We know you was working. And I'm like, damn, I would have came. They're like, no, but we called you before and you didn't come to the last thing because you had to work. And so we just decided, you know what, Nick's busy. And I was like, well, that sucks.
Yeah. You
know what I'm saying? So now, as I've gotten older, I'm more like, oh, my kid got a PTA meeting, I'm gonna go to that. Oh, the kids got a thing, or there's a recital, because it ain't about me no more. It's not about I got to do the thing to build my name and my career. I think I've built a good reputation, a solid name. People know what I do for the most part. I'm sure there are people who don't know who I am. I'm sure people who are watching this thing are like, who the hell is this guy and why does Spitty got him on? But if you Google Chat GPT or whatever and look up Nick Love, you will see a resume that stacks up against most people. But I'm not at that phase of my life anymore where I'm like trying to prove to the industry what I can do. Now it's like, let me go be a really, really good dad. Let me go be a really, really good partner in my relationship. Let me go really be a really, really good son to my parents. Go be a really good brother to my brothers. It's those relationships that I'm kind of more so striving to either repair or enhance as I'm getting older. So that's kind of my motivation now. Like, I want to make money so that I can take my kids to Epic Universe in Orlando. You know what I'm saying? It's not so Nick can go get the latest car anymore, so that Nick can have a collection of sneakers, or Nick can just have, whatever the case may be. It's like, what's the cool thing I can do? I want to make enough money so if my parents are like, we want to do something nice, I'm like, let me take y'all to the flyest restaurant in Atlanta. And if y'all want to do this 3 times this week, let's go. Steaks every night. Like, that's where I am with life, man. So it's really, it sounds cliche, but it's super about family and the people close to me.
No, that's what's up, because, a lot of times we get, like, working in the music business, working in entertainment, we can just get caught up in work, and what we do, because we love our job so much, and
love it,
and it's so
I love this shit.
It's so demanding too. But then I also see that you're intentional with spending time with your family, even hobbies. Like,
man, you talk about the hobbies, like I'm cornhole, pickleball. Like I want to. It's so many things I just want to try. I just want to do. I don't. My girl, like, my girl grew up in like Ackworth, Woodstock. Like, so this is for people who don't know or don't live in Atlanta. That's like Cherokee County. This is like the whitest part of like Metro Atlanta. Even if you even classify it as Metro Atlanta, it's like north of the city. And she was the one who kind of exposed me to a lot of things. And she was like, "Yo, like she ever said, she's like, you live a real Decatur black ass life." You know what I'm saying? Like, you eat chicken fingers and fries and wings every day. Like, and if I left you to your own devices, you would eat JJ's. And like, this is all you would do. Thanks to her, I'm like, oh, let's go eat sushi. Let's go try. I'm willing to try things. And in the process of trying things, I found like, oh, like trying things actually makes you more interesting. And I think that's what I strive to do more than anything. I want to be interesting. I want to be able to go to any event, cocktail party, political function, music industry event, and somebody say, yo, have you heard about such and such? I'd be like, actually, I have. I was just playing golf the other day with so-and-so. I was just playing pickup basketball with just so-and-so. I was just shooting pool over here in the trap. I was just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be able to go here, there, and everywhere and mix and mingle in, like I'm even I'm talking to someone about getting my daughter into like this like really exclusive like private school in the city, and it's not because I care about her being in private school, and I don't even know if she wants to do it. It's more so like, let's just see.
Yeah.
Let's just, let's see. Everybody always makes it seem like private school, you got to rub shoulders with it. And I'm like, I mean, let's find out.
Yeah.
Let's find out if that's really a thing, because I came up in public school and I think I turned out just fine. I don't have that same level of like private school. Like I don't school like you finished. I remember earlier you said you had finished school. I'm like, damn, that's dope, because I didn't finish. I went to Georgia State. I did 3 years and I didn't finish.
Word.
So I don't have that same regard for school because everything I learned on the fly.
Yeah.
But I would never tell anybody to do what I did.
Right.
My daughter's at Howard University right now, and I'm so proud of her that she's at Howard. I have another daughter. She's in trade school. She's doing hair. She loves it. I'm so happy for her.
Yeah.
I got another daughter, my oldest daughter, who just started school for the first time because she took years off. She went straight to work out of high school. She's in school. I'm like, yo, do whatever makes you happy. I don't care if you do this or don't. If you go back to work, cool.
Yeah.
My 7-year-old, she does extremely well. I got 4 girls, and I'm like, I want y'all to be the best people that y'all can be, but I want y'all to be like rounded, productive, interesting people. I don't want y'all to be robots or just cogs in the wheel. Make a mark.
Yeah. Word. No, I could dig that. Dig that. All right. So before we get out of here, I got this segment that I call Real Spit or Bullshit.
Okay.
And I want to ask you a couple of questions. Let me know if it's real spit or bullshit.
Let's do it.
All right. So real spit or bullshit, Atlanta being the mecca of music, but it's the mecca of music, but hasn't had like a superstar artist, lately.
I'm gonna call it bullshit because I mean, who was the last superstar artist? Period. Just take Atlanta out of it. Who's the last superstar artist that we've really, really seen? I mean, Drake and Kendrick had a crazy year last year.
Yeah.
This year, I don't know that there's a star that has truly, truly emerged from anywhere.
Yeah. No.
So I'm gonna call it bullshit. I like the wave that we got right now with the young ladies.
Yeah.
The girls are killing it right now.
Oh, yeah,
and if you look on TikTok, you look on Instagram, it's us. It's still Atlanta. It's still Atlanta culture, Atlanta dances. I love Metro's last album that he just put out.
I love that.
And not only is it, I love Futuristic Summer, not only because I came up in that era as well. I was a little older for the Futuristic swag, but I was there because I was around when Young LA and J Money and all that stuff because I was already in the business at that point. But seeing those records, those artists, Schoolie, Travis Porter getting their shine in 2025, and watching kids that are my daughter's ages singing Michael Montana and watching Michael Montana at the Ron Clark Academy and watching like Issa Rae and like celebrities doing the Michael Montana little TikTok dance, I'm like, Atlanta still got it.
Yeah.
Atlanta got it.
Yeah.
Still, to this day.
For sure. Real spit or bullshit, flats are better than drums.
Oh, that's bullshit. The flat, I don't know who started this propaganda. Flats got the same PR as Brussels sprouts. And like, at some point somebody said flats were better. That's nonsense. The drum will 1,000% always be better than a flat.
Word. Okay. See,
I'm one of the few Atlanta people that feel this way.
I rarely meet people because I'm a fan of drums. Like
drums is where it's at.
Yeah. I'll go and get a 6-piece all drums or something. All right?
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
People who eat flats also eat at Waffle House, and I don't trust them either. Because I'm not a Waffle House guy either.
Wow, that's funny.
I don't do Waffle House. I don't do the Varsity. It's a lot of Atlanta bullshit that we've told people is good that we be lying about to sell like, to keep our restaurants in business, but trash. Chanterelles was trash when it was open. Jeezy used to love it about it. Everybody used to like when Jeezy had the line, eat your little ass up like a Chanterelles plate. I was like, ugh, Chanterelles, awful. Awful. Who wants a French twist on soul food, man? Cook them greens how they supposed to be cooked, bro. Stop messing with them stuff. Leave them yams alone.
Yo, for real. Real spit or bullshit. The sections in the clubs killed Atlanta's nightlife.
Ooh. I'm gonna call that real spit. Real spit. Sections did kill the club environment because Atlanta was a dancing city. I can't speak for other cities, but coming up, we danced, and we danced all night long. And that might have been a thing that everybody did as just, coming from the 90s. That was just the era.
Yeah.
But 90s, early 2000s, we danced. Do you still ever see the Lil Jon concert that they had on MTV? It was the Lil Jon's, like the $2 bill concert that they did. But it's
I can't
they'll
remember
on
off top.
Instagram they'll have like they'll every now and then they'll show clips of it.
Okay.
But it's Lil Jon, Scrappy, the whole BME crew. They did a big concert for MTV one time, and if you look in that crowd, bro, it's that they're at Tabernacle, and it is wall to wall. People just dancing, jumping up and down, crunk shit, and it's like you put enough sections in the club, ain't no room to be crunk, ain't no room to do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think the sections killed the club. They made the club promoters rich. They made the clubs rich. They sold a lot of alcohol. They made a lot of alcohol brands very, very popular. But I think it killed people's enjoyment of what it truly, truly was. So.
Real spit or bullshit. Marketing in this age of social media and the algorithm and, you know, all of that has lessened the importance of real marketing.
I will say real spit, but what I will say to that is that it hasn't lessened the importance of marketing. It's just made marketers lazy. It's made marketers feel like, oh, all I have to do is come up with a TikTok challenge, or you know, like that's. Anytime I sit in a music meeting and somebody, it never fails in the first 5 to 10 minutes of any meeting. Somebody says we should create a challenge, and I'll be like, okay, you know, it's like. That nothing kills my vibe more than that, because it's like it's such low hanging fruit, and every song does not lend itself to a challenge. Every product does not lend itself to some challenge. Sometimes y'all gonna have to do some real fucking marketing.
Nah, for sure.
At some point, you got to do something with some real thought and care to it, and it can't just be. So we're gonna make a dance to it. It's like it's a slow song. It's a ballad. Like it's a man singing about his fucking. You know what I'm saying? Like this man dog just died. And you like, hey, let's make a challenge. Let's make a dog dying challenge. Hashtag my dog just died. And I'm like, get the fuck. Like, I hate it. But it has made marketers very, very lazy. And I think that curiosity is the best friend of any marketer. Having somebody like you, my man Solo over 94.5, we always talk about this. Like, when you're curious about, oh, let me try this hobby, let me try this thing, you find answers and solutions in those weird things. You're like, man, I never would have came up with this music idea if I wasn't playing pickleball, because in pickleball, this happens and I can apply this over here. Or I was reading this medical magazine, and it's like when you start kind of picking through random subjects, you find answers to what you're looking for just from the random places. Music answers aren't always in music books. Sometimes music answers are in a comic book. Or the sports page or something else, and you're like, oh, I can apply that over here. I hate.
I'm definitely inspired by unorthodox things or things that like I might see somewhere else, and I'll be like, yo, I might be able to use this over here, or you know what I mean?
I watch everything, bro. Like I consume so much content in a way that, but like again, I probably consume less music content than anything. I consume. No, I'm trying to collect watches. I was looking at, you know, we've talked about the watches before, but I'm collecting watches. I'm getting into cologne, super, super heavy. So let's just watching cologne podcasts. And I'm like listening to how they present things. I'm like, oh, actually, that's kind of clever. Maybe we should get an artist to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like that right there is like what I'm on right now. Finding spaces like, how can we get an artist on a cologne podcast? Because those cologne podcasts, they don't know any rappers. They don't know anything. They only know cologne. So it's like, well, shit, it'd be cool. I would love to hear let's just take an artist like Young Dolph. You mentioned Dolph earlier. Wouldn't you have liked to know, like, what cologne Young Dolph was into?
Nah, for sure.
Or like, because we know all the music answers. We already know what he on.
Because you would hear like 2 Chainz, like he was one of the people that like made us know what Bond Number 9 was.
Yes.
And artists talking about Baccarat and, you know, different stuff like that. So
those are the things that are interesting. We already have heard, so when's your album coming out? So tell us about your favorite song on the album, and tell us about the thing and who you're dating. Like we see that enough in between blogs or whatever. I want to know the other random things that 2 Chainz is into. Like I read something, I can't remember if it was Juvenile or Project Pat. It's somebody either from Texas or like Louisiana. One of them like builds like decks or patios or some shit. And I was like, it might be Slim Thug or somebody. I'm like, yo, that is the illest thing in the world. You mean Juvenile in his spare time is doing like DIY projects? That is the illest shit in the world to me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
for sure.
And to find out that your favorite artist is into rebuilding old school cars, or collecting stamps or quarters or $2 bills and shit. Like, cause I collect $2 bills. So
Okay.
if I found out Rihanna collected $2 bills, I'm like, oh shit, me and Reid be out here like at the bank looking for $2 bills and shit. Like, that is cool to me. And I think we so lazy with let's create a challenge that it's why are we not exploring these other spaces?
For sure. Q Parker from 112, he builds decks and does like stuff like that. I interviewed
Q my guy
him,
too, and I didn't know that.
Yeah, man, he's crazy with it too, bro. Like he be putting stuff on his gram. I interviewed him a few months ago.
That's dope.
He was talking about that and how he got into it, and
bro. Like when Greg Street, he fishes.
Yeah.
Greg, he's big into it. So it's like, man, I would love to take an artist out with Greg to fish. Maybe we can film that and make that the content of like Greg Street and rapper so-and-so fishing.
Absolutely.
At whatever lake and turn that into a thing. Like, that's what I'm on. Like, forget another don't hang no more mics.
Man, please.
I don't want to see a hanging mic. I've seen them all.
Yeah.
They done hung a mic from heaven. They done hung a mic from the shower. They done hung a mic from everywhere you can hang one from. I want to see them go fishing. I want to see them go shoot a bow and arrow. I got an artist. I got a Southern Soul artist. I want to plug him real quick. FPJ, he's a Southern Soul artist that we have. He's really, really big. He's a star already, but he's going to be even bigger once we're done with him. He called me one day. He's like, man, I said, I'm like, yo, what you doing? He said, man, I just cashed out on a tractor. And I was like, how much that cost? He's like about 90. I said, really? Huh. I said, you know what, man? I've never heard that sentence in my life.
Right.
I've never had anybody call me and say, I just cashed out on a tractor. I said, what you gonna do with it? He said, oh man, shit, I got like a lot of land where I stay, so I'm just gonna knock some shit down. I was like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, no rapper in the world has ever told me that. But again, I do Southern Soul now with oneRPM, so it's like, that was ill. And I'm like, man, I would love to like put a camera on that. Yeah. I would love to see you go to the dealership, wherever the fuck you buy a tractor from, the tractor dealership, and get a tractor. Like, I don't even know what you look for in a good tractor. You get a used tractor? Like, what? I know nothing about tractors. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I want to see that type of content. And those are the things I'm like, let's get into lifestyle pieces.
For sure.
Exposing that way of life to people, man.
Yeah. For sure. And you mentioned oneRPM. Can you just, can you tell us about oneRPM and your position there?
I am the senior product manager for oneRPM for Urban. Okay. So I handle all the hip hop, R&B, gospel, and Southern Soul artists. We are I won't call us the little engine that could, but we are the hardest working, largest independent music distributor in the world, actually. We don't have the sexiest name. I think there are other sexier. We were talking about this earlier today. There are some sexier names in the distribution space, but in terms of like who go get the money, and who has the success in the different areas globally, it's us. We are really, really the ones. And so, it's what's interesting about being at oneRPM is that push and pull of like, okay, we're especially on the urban side, like we want to be cool. I'm cool personally, but you want to work for the cool company that got like the cool shit going on. So it's like, do you want to be cool or you want to be successful? And so there's always that like walking that line. But I mean, oneRPM, man, amazing. I've been there since 2022, 404. 4/4/22 is when I got that job. Oh, wow. And so it's been a little over 3 years since I got there. And man, I've learned a shit ton of a lot about the music business that I didn't know before I got there. The digital space is extremely interesting. It's a lot of money in it. We have a lot of artists. Some of them are names that you would know. A lot of them are not, and they do well. And I did not know that you could make so much money and not be just a household name. Yeah. Some of these, we got some artists, and I'm like, for real? Y'all see their statements on the computer, and I'm like, really? He made $40,000 last month? Okay.
Word.
So when people say, ain't no money in the music business, I'm like, who? Where? Over. They getting it over here. Yeah. Like, I've just seen it. But yeah, man, oneRPM.
All right, no, that's what's up, man. Shout out to Orlando. Shout out to the whole oneRPM team.
Tony,
for real.
Guccio, everybody. Ty.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Nisha, Keela, everybody.
For sure. And a lot of people that are watching this channel are, people that's, looking for, game and wanting to be inspired, to whether they're artists or managers or, aspiring execs and things like that. So before we get out of here, can you just leave our people with just some words of encouragement and, like to help them to, you know, gain, you know, confidence and things like that to want to pursue their dreams and things like that, like you have.
For
You know,
sure.
over the years.
So I'm gonna say this. I know that we're at the end of the interview, and I hope y'all clip this up and put it somewhere where people can see it. If you are aspiring to be anything, an artist, an entrepreneur, a creator, whatever, and like there was a point, maybe I don't know, maybe about 15 minutes ago or so, aspire to be interesting. Aspire to be interesting. Interesting will bring you a lot. Interesting will bring you a lot of clients. It'll bring you a lot of fanfare. It'll bring you a lot of interest. Um, a lot of leads for whatever it is you're trying to do. If people are interested in you and what you know and your business and what you do, I think a lot of times, man, like I said, people aspire to be cool, but they don't aim for success. People aspire to kind of just sell you, buy my thing, listen to my song, watch my video, but it's like, no, like give me something back. Aspire to be interesting. Aspire to be a people pleaser because you're in the people pleasing business. Nobody cares if you like the music. They care if they like the music. Nobody cares if you like your product. They want to like the thing, man. So I would just tell people in any level of business that you're in, man, aspire to be interesting, but more than anything, aspire to be a people pleaser, especially if you plan on selling something to somebody, man. And I think if you can kind of keep those two things at the forefront, you'll be a-okay. I've done it personally in my personal life and in my professional life, and I fared well doing so. I think people underestimate in a lot of ways because I'm so low key how much money we've really, really made over the years, and I like it that way.
Yeah.
I'm not the flashy guy, but I've done well in my career, and it's for those two reasons: staying curious, being interesting, and being a person who wants to please the people around me. So do that.
Yes, sir. No, I appreciate that, Nick, and appreciate y'all for tuning in. It's your boy Spitty, my man Nick Love. We dropping gems, giving y'all that real spit. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, all of the above.
Please.
And keep pushing to be great. Push fear to the back and just keep elevating. And we out of this thing. Yes,
Peace.
sir. Peace.